Good
Craig?
jobs to robots.
Welcome back, Craig.
Sorry you had to hear that, Craig.
He doesn't mean
I would
it.
tell you he's joking, but I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, I meant that.
Can't cover for you, Chad.
What are you, a Gale? Really? You want to be a Gale? In this life?
In this life.
Gales can hear you.
So getting back to our game, we would sort of zoom in to Ravnica's 10th district, sort of soaring past the many streets and highways and intersects and buildings and courtyards and plazas and getting to Griffin Heights. This very lavish sect of, mainly houses, neighborhoods, a few boroughs. There are a couple of little establishments tucked away in various spots. Zooming into this beautiful, almost gothic Victorian manor with all this beautiful, lavish greenery up on its very small front yard. Heading into the interior, this small study, the door opening and almost dissipating as it fully opens, showing the elithid form of Zeo the Monomind as he would sort of step in. His very fine clothing, moving ever so slightly, freely, probably very fine silks and garbs. And he would come in now sporting what looks like a set of very nice, almost like dragon scale gloves. They're not like big welder's gloves, but they're very tight form-fitting gloves. As he would sort of step into the space, sort of wringing his hands in the gloves, just sort of like adjusting. Excellent, excellent. I hope I gave you all enough time to discuss financial matters.
Yeah, we actually just had a couple more questions.
Yeah, just to clarify, like, yeah, it was a really generous offer, but also, like, is, that sum of money, like, kind of like a finder's fee, and Voris will kind of have, like, autonomy, or is he, like, signing up to be here for a while? Just want to make sure.
That is a very fair question. Seeing as he is free-thinking, has his own will, as he demonstrated, will be his choice. All I ask is, after the transfusion, you allow me to be very hands-on with his adjustment to his new form. Filling out the various notes I will likely take will be very prominent. If everything goes right and all of the extra features are working as intended, mainly the dark vision and the overall strength of the power core after such, then I will report back to Helson, and we will likely begin mass producing some of these parts. I've already begun tinkering with what could be upgrades to current models for certain power advances, beyond standard capability anyways, always outlying cases and such matters.
Okay, so you just want him for just like a couple days, just to...
See, I told you
so
guys.
Week or a couple weeks.
Honestly, I think maybe 3-4 hours, perhaps at 6 to 7, depending on how he adjusts. But once he's comfortable in his form, he is up to do as he sees fit, in my opinion. Again, if he would like to stay around Ravnica in the 10th district, I would be more than happy to facilitate that, as further notable progress would be interesting. But if he has interests not on this planetoid, then I will perhaps talk to them about some means to converse with them for updates or questions he may have.
Okay, so we'll say
faster than I thought.
finder's fee.
Finder's fee is
Is it a dirty term?
A bit of a dirty term for us.
Okay.
For a bit of context, souls are purchasable here on Ravnica. Some of them in more spectral, ghostial form. Some of them in various containers, such as this ring.
Okay.
and again, some of them more functioning than our friend Vor's here.
Okay,
And
so
the prices for them are quite steep. The taxes on them for the Olzarf banks are even steeper.
I see. Yeah, no. Yeah, let's just keep this between us then.
Yes, I am saving a great deal of coin by doing this. I understand this may feel like a large sum of gold, but for what we are hoping to accomplish here in the following hours, it will be groundbreaking for the construct beings of
Yeah,
the spheres.
sounds
Yeah,
like
we're-
sounds like everyone's winning.
Yeah, we're people of science and
It's true.
progress.
We've assisted in some scientific endeavors before. I mean, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, I don't know. Hold this up. So I mean, should we take him to a room? Like, do you want him to wear the ring while you do this, or
No,
Yeah,
we
that
hang-
doesn't sound good.
should we hang
Oh
out
yeah,
here?
when you give you the ring, that's right.
Or,
He
you
pops
know,
the ring and gives it to.
well, yeah, we can get payment too.
I trust.
Oh,
He's good
okay.
for it. He's good for it.
Yeah, so no offense.
Yeah, understandable. This is a valuable item. I understand. He would take the ring. Would you all prefer your payment now or after the transfusion?
I guess now.
Yeah, like just in case we have to take off. Gail, can I have your lemon square? Thank you.
What?
You say
No,
something. Right?
You promised we'd at least stay here, remember?
No, like
you never,
just in case.
yeah, never know.
We don't know how long
Go
it's gonna
ahead.
take.
I'm gonna take it now.
It's in like 2 hours most, right?
Gail? It's fine. We'll take it.
Very fair. And again, he has the ring in his main hand. With his free hand, he gives another one of those hard snaps. And next to him, this it looks very large coin purse would sort of appear next to him as if it is full. And it would sort of magically open, and he would do a bit of a wave, and out from the bag would be these small pouches that would sort of pop to each of you. Each one would not look very full at all. And as you sort of each take them, you open it, and it's enough to like kind of squeeze your hand in there, like just barely. And it has no bottom, has no end. These are small pouches of holding. And so you can hold virtually endless coins, and that's all the pouches would seem to accept if you were to test anything or if you were to ask Zio.
That's really cool.
That's dope.
How? Detect magic is up for 10 minutes. Would I still have that?
At this point, probably not, because you guys had a little bit of time, like talking in between while doing that, and then you had like 5, 6, 7 minutes sort of alone in the space.
What color is the pouch? I'm just curious.
They're all like a very dark, almost worn-in leather. They're almost like purposely stressed to where they would just look like a standard like coin purse to the unsuspecting person. Like it's almost like a purposeful camouflage.
I don't think Gail would be too, like, I mean, she'd be a little surprised, but like she wouldn't be that taken aback. I'm sure she's seen these before.
And after you all, like, he sees you all inspecting them, Zia would probably have the thought, be sure not to place those pouches in any other extra spatial containers you may have. That would be problematic, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't one of us have a bag? Yeah, don't do that.
Sort of.
You're like mid-reach.
Oh.
I recommend keeping this on your person or a standard sack or container.
Thank you.
Got it.
Not expecting this type of storage container. That's nice.
It is sort of the easiest way to go about all of this. If you all would prefer, I can deliver it in a singular manner. I presumed you all would be splitting this between the 5
Yeah.
of you. Like,
I like
hanging
Oh.
out
No,
with-
this is great.
It was just the 4 of us.
Oh, is that correct? And Datla sort of look. Datla looking
Right,
at her
Datla.
purse. She'd be like, but I mean, honestly, I did come out on a branch and I was a bit of a connection, so I think I've earned at least my portion.
I don't really see a problem with that.
What portion
Okay,
are we
5
talking
of
about
us.
here?
I guess
Yeah, 5 of us.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fine. I'll make sure to share it with the crew if you want. We're not going to tell them.
Oh, were we not supposed to tell anyone about this? I mean, Fern knew that I was coming here.
Oh, I was just joking about the bag of coin.
Oh.
You could tell. Or, if you wanted to keep all the money. Anyway, 5 ways would be great. Thank you.
So how much is in each? If it's 21 split 5 ways.
It's 4,200 gold pieces inside each pouch.
Can I get 420 platinum pieces?
It's all gold.
You son of a bitch.
It's all gold.
Ah, yeah.
4200.
Yes, sir.
Oh my
4,200 gold pieces. I'm going to add that to Datla's inventory.
Oh,
Gonna have to rob Dal on the way back.
Can't
wait to see that
guys. We lost
this
Datla.
is
Lost your
crazy.
money?
I'm not even playing her, and I'm getting gold on another character. Hey.
Oh my god, you guys, we lost Datla. We don't know what happened to her.
Dal said she found a new crew and she's not coming back.
It's so strange.
But she said if she had a dragon, we could take it. I don't know why she said if, but
She said, fuck you and fuck them kids too.
she said Kreischer was okay, so I don't know what that was about.
Hot damn.
All right, you guys each receiving your gold, your pouches, and Zio probably inspecting the ring in his hand. I will be in my workshop. I will begin the process. My simulacrum will take over from there. I will continue on. If anyone wishes to be in the workshop itself, please follow me, but if anyone just wishes to remain on the grounds, please remain in the study. I ask you to keep to these quarters, not to inspect my home out of respect.
Kellen would follow.
Yeah, I'm way too curious about this. I kind of want to see.
Oh yeah, Datla's getting up. She's like, oh yes.
Told Vors I would be there. We all told Vors we would be there.
I told him I might step out for some air. So-
There's just no
I
one
can
else has
give you
touched their
air.
plates.
It's fine.
Well, Brett's in bulking season, and I thought maybe I could just hop into the Omen shop.
You
Or
go
just see
in
if-
there after.
Well,
We're
it's like
gonna
a couple,
do some shopping after this.
Well, it's a couple hours. Yeah, I just wanted to see
Yeah,
if
is
they
it-
were even there.
Is it actually a shop?
Oh, that's actually a good point. I thought it
I
was a shop.
don't know if it's a shop.
Oh, maybe it's a guild. It was Omen of what again? I'm sorry.
It's the Omen Seekers. Headed
Omen
by
Seekers.
Kassir.
Zio, if we have to leave, like, can we get back in while you're busy?
No, I would ask if you leave, the door will lock behind you.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. If we go in there, can we bring the NL Jester to the tea and food to ask on Brett's behalf?
Oh, yes, that is a very good point. And he would give
Instead
another
of-
hard snap
If it needs
as
to be
the tea
sterile.
kettle and like the little the plate of essentially kind of condiments, the extra platter of treats, everything would sort of ascend. Very well. All of you, please, this way.
Right, I got so distracted I forgot about tea.
Fist bump Brett. We got snacks.
Got snacks for the show, guys.
As you guys would follow Zio, he would lead you upstairs to that second level, a very slight exposed portion that you could see from the ground floor. So you begin to go up to the very top. You've sort of entered this wide hallway. Turning to the left, he would lead you down this essentially like, fine corridor hallway leading to a very large oak door. Kind of pushing through it, you all would enter this space and immediately get the sense that extra dimensional feel is at least on this room as you all step in, and it feels like a very large laboratory, seeing several different workstations, almost like a car garage with all these different stations and almost repeating tools in different ones, various projects in the middle, a few open like vacant bays. And all the way off in what looks like sort of his main section, where there seems to be several cabinets and displays and various extra accoutrement, if you will, little personal aesthetics all over this very back, almost entire section taking up. You would see this long table with this construct, this what looks like a dead warforged for all intents and purposes, just laying there on this table, and this would be the exact one that Zio would begin to lead you all to, showing you this very fine looking model. It would be sort of mainly gold in sections, taking in its form. It would have very like flexible looking fingers, a lot of different like pivot points in it, so it'd be like highly dexterous. It would have a lot of different like, for us, it would look like pistons and shifting bits, as this is entirely made of metal. For us, again, it's very steampunk in its design. It would have all sorts of like engravings sort of upon parts of it, like flowers and petals and various stems and sprays sort of across it, almost like tattoos and etchings sort of across its face. This thing is like, it's like a piece of art almost is what it looks like. Like whoever made this took incredible care to craft it. And as you sort of approach this table, all right, now here is our model. It is impressive to say the least. Please do not touch. Like probably Brett moving to touch it. Like please don't.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got crumbs on my fingers.
It is just a highly delicate model. I am afraid to mess with it too much until it is fully operational. The power core has been installed. Did not take me too long to piece that together. This transfusion process should be fairly straightforward once I've done it in the past. And he would begin to move over to a part of the workstation that sort of elbows out and sort of steps up, and you could see it is almost like an altar, but like a mini spell station. There's like a few books and tomes, a few like half used candles about. There's a crystal sphere, a few little casting affixes sort of off to the side. Flipping through the tome, a couple pages. All right, I think this should do it. Please, all of you, maybe take a couple steps back. Once I begin, honestly, I don't think it'll be too terribly exciting, but for the beginning, it can be a bit loud, I suppose. Good way to put it.
Dale's just gonna take a nice hefty step back as she sips her tea.
2 steps.
At least Datla sort of joining, probably like getting far back, like with Kellen, as they're just sort of like watching curiously. Datla is just like, you could probably tell if any of you were to look at her, she is like holding back just like a waterfall of questions, and she's just like taking all of this in. And you would see after a moment, kind of his back facing you, as Zio would begin to cast this spell, sort of shifting and churning, almost drawing these arcane sigils into the air on occasion before the sigils would like dissipate and join this massive energy he's conjuring. And after a moment of conjuring, he would sort of step over to the side, and his hands sort of like moving in this constant, almost like dancing rhythm, as there's this churning ball of light green with almost like a blue hint in the center. He's just sort of churning it. And sort of almost silently, he strides over, containing this energy, and begins to impress it, like slowly forcing it into the actual Warforged, as He's beginning to do this. It takes a couple of minutes as this full energy sphere is being pressed into the actual Warforged. Pulling back with a free hand, still slightly forcing the last of the energy into it, he would give a hard snap. And the next thing you would know, his form would almost ripple as a secondary Zeo, the Monomind, would sort of pull itself out of Zeo. The two Zeos would look at each other. The ring, now. And the second Zeo would move over, non-verbally grab the ring, come over and place it right on the center chest of the Warforged. And as soon as that happens, the main Zeo, the first one, still sort of holding in that energy that was pressed in. The minute the ring is sort of placed in the center of the chest, it's whoom, this spark lights up. All of you give me dexterity saving throws. DC is not high, like a 5 or higher is what we're looking for. Anything lower, you're kind of like knocked to your ass just from this boom. Ooh, let me get one for Datla. Dex
Is it
save.
like a force or like an electric thing or?
So as soon as the ring is placed, and there is a bit of a surge of energy as this almost, it's almost like air, more just like this volume of force, just like a bubble, boom, almost like the weave reacting to this heavy magic that's about to be instilled. All of you almost have to like guard slightly as the light in here would whoom, brighten with this bright glow. Gale probably reacting the hardest. Mary's just like unexpectedly, thankfully, like managing to shield your eyes from this almost flash bang effect that happens. A second after sort of each of you recover, looking back, you can see both Zeos now sort of channeling this energy into the Warforged itself. Those sort of engravings and carvings along its metal exterior would almost be moving. Almost like small lit up ants are moving through these etchings along part of its metal exterior. What would be its skin? So it's sort of shifting through. No light coming from the eyes of this beautiful, almost art piece of a construct. After like 5-6 minutes of this, everything would sort of like dim down slightly. The main Zeo sort of breaking his connection. The second Zeo that was created sort of keeping up and almost increasing his channeling. Doing the same very light motioning with their arms, just keeping this magical connection going. The main Zeo just sort of like leaning against the table, sort of exhaling. Whew. All right. Not to be anticlimactic, but the rest is going to be about this. We're motioning to the second Zeo, sort of continuing this light channeling into the Warforged. Anything you all would like to talk about, I suppose, while we mingle? And he would give a bit of a snap, as it would look like the teapot was out at one point, and then it would sort of like reignite, a little bit of steam popping out. It just like almost... the tea would appear and then cook itself immediately inside, beginning to steam and begin to finish up filling whatever cup it stopped on. Anything to kill the time?
I could use a re-up. As you look at Gale, she spilled the tea all over herself from the force. She's like prestidigitating, cleaning herself up.
The tea kettle moving over, filling up the teacup. And the teacups, you guys would probably realize that they would float if you let go of them at any point. They're like undroppable. So for Gale, you probably held on to it and like tried to shield yourself, so like it just didn't matter. But if you would have just let go of it, it would have been like much better.
I have 2 really weird questions.
Ooh.
Ask away, young man.
First
We
question.
have some time.
First question is, you are interested in constructs. That is very clear. And we know that you met part of the crew of the Gilded Leaf, right? That Q fella? What do you think of him? What's going on there?
He did not meet Q.
Oh,
You would recall. You guys also probably would have recalled that Fern and Q were the only two to stay behind. Everyone else went.
Right.
Okay, so first question, null and void. Don't answer that question. Never mind, I forgot.
Beep, blop, beep, beep, blop, blop. Rewind.
Gifty cab.
But what do you happen to know about Lady Bane? I hear it's her birthday today, and we happen to be going to a show that she might be going to tonight.
My brief knowledge is she seems like an insufferable diva. Ego-driven, much like many of the old houses. I'm sure whatever event you will be attending will be soaked in her visage.
Blended.
Huh. Ooh.
Well, at least I know the type.
Yes, very, very interesting individuals that would prefer to use their time on these planetoids to enjoy nightlife activities to their fullest. Debauchery on high scale. Unsavory in my personal taste.
Okay, and so second question. What? How does one? Not to be like offensive or anything. I'm just really curious. How does one become a monomind? Unconnected from the hive mind. I mean, I don't know if that's a sensitive subject. If it is, I'm sorry for asking.
No, not at all. Maybe at one time I would not want to have to dive back into such things, but thankfully, what I thought was a curse at the time turned to be a blessing. I, myself, was captured. 4 more heroes long ago. I suppose they still exist, but in a different capacity. New names taking up their current vantage point. These Gatewatch captured me some time ago. This was slightly before the Great War broke out. They were aware of the general plans of the Great Mind, and they hoped I would have more help for them. But little did they know the collar they placed upon me. It severed my connection to the weave. It severed not only that, but thanks to its power, severed my connection to the Great Mind. Again, something I thought an even worse curse at first.
But like, I thought we just felt you disturb the weave just now to like do this stuff.
Yes, my abilities did return. If they would have removed that collar earlier, I would have likely went back, re-established my connection to the mind. But I had enough time to see that everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves help.
Do you
I will do
remember
my part.
how they removed your collar?
There was a fastening, a key. I remember it like it was yesterday. The day they removed it, they were afraid I would turn. I can't blame them. Even after my years of helping them, there's still that moment of doubt. But in time, my abilities did come back in their full.
So when they removed it, you couldn't cast magic right away?
Oh, I could, just not to my full capabilities. Imagine a muscle atrophying.
How long?
Yeah.
How
long?
how long did you have the collar on?
Give or take 15, 20 years. The
Oh.
first few are blurry. Establishing a sound mind on my own was a trial. Something I did not think I was prepared for.
Well, thanks for like sharing with us. I know that could be like sensitive.
No. If anything, I have learned once people know the full story, they seem not to look at me as such a monster.
Oh no, you're not a monster. I don't. I hope people don't look at you and think that.
I do not blame them. My kind have done horrible things, are doing horrible things.
How'd you get into Warforge? Was that like a before all that kind of thing, or like a late in life hobby?
Hard turn left. Hard turn left.
And over the next like hour and a half or so, you guys would fill that little small talk window. Zio just going on to explain that, you know, after losing the great minds connection, he needed to find something to dive into, and Arcano technology was kind of something new and budding at the time, and he has made a lot of big strides in discovery in some of the early phases, and since then many other practitioners have sort of taken up the mantle and are pressing the actual race forward, developing them into, you know, the greatest version that they can be, basically. That would
Sick.
sort of dawdle on. If there's any other like specific questions, of course, feel free to ask. You guys have some time until the transfusion is complete. Again, it's like an hour-ish, hour and a half-ish, just for this part.
I feel like Brett would be the one to kind of hold that personal conversation. If anyone's trying to talk technical stuff, he's just stuffing his face.
I think Kellen's more so just kind of like watching what's going on, just making sure, like, just watching and waiting, anticipating.
Give me an Arcana check real quick, Kellen. Or you can do investigation with disadvantage, just because of like range and proximity. You know, Zio won't let you guys get too terribly close to the process. Nice, a 20 Arcana, dirty 20. As you're sort of there at the distance, you can see that secondary Zio, that simulacrum Zio, sort of continuing this light channeling. So you're sort of looking at it, sort of squinting, and like just using the knowledge you know of spellcasting. Though you're not a practitioner, you've been around it almost your whole life at this point. And you could tell that this is like, I mean, as far as you could guess and like what you've seen and heard about, you did some research in your own time as a younger man, but this is like a very strange, like very advanced, almost like a revivification type magic mixed with like this very strong evocation magic, this magic of creation.
That's insane.
And it's like, it's high level stuff. So the fact he can have his secondary guy just sort of take over and keep doing it is like, okay, man, like this guy is crazy.
Yeah, this is insane. This guy is fucking nuts.
Did we find out how old he is? I feel like Brett would have asked that.
You would learn that you know, early on in a lithid life, when connected to the Great Mind, keeping track of one's age isn't customary. It's usually once you start getting decrepit and useless. The hive mind like basically sends you for reconstruction. And so he didn't actually start keeping track until let me look at my timeline before I say that.
Yeah, because
No.
honestly, like he would consider the creation of him becoming a mono mind like a birthday.
Exactly. And so that's when he's like, okay, well, I guess that was the first day of birth I've had. My
Rebirth.
timeline. Oh, I know where it is.
Because he did say it was right shortly before the Illithid War, right? And that was what, 1,000 years ago?
The Illithid War was not that long ago. It was a while ago.
Okay, not that long.
Like 1,000-ish years ago, that was like happening kind of like isolated on Arcavios, specifically in the like subterranean parts of Arcavios. The Illithids were like coming up essentially from like the lower depths of Arcavios and like were attacking those like Furbolg folk. Okay, sorry, got distracted. Notes. Boop. The downside of having everything on Roll20, it's all kind of scattered. Kind of out and about.
The rest of you better be
There we
thinking
go.
of questions if you have them.
The Illithid War was a little over 100 years ago.
Okay.
And so Zio himself would count himself as 112 years old.
It's my 111th birthday. Okay, cool.
And again, he explained, and if asked, he was captured by the Gate Watch, and all of those hundreds of years ago, though they were in a much different form, different individuals and such than there are these days from last he's heard. And yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying that, like, if they were still around in some form, that, like, they all ascended to godhood or some shit. That makes a lot more sense. That he's just talking about the organization.
Yeah, it's essentially just this group you guys know that Liliana has done business with, and she was hoping for help, and they're supposed to be stationed on Ravnica, but the entire plot where their keep was at is just gone, and she hasn't been able to get in touch with any of them.
Spooky.
What do you know about that place down the way, the Omen Seekers?
The Omen Seekers. They are good friends.
Good friends?
Of mine,
Really?
yes. They investigate many various matters across Arcavios. Though they are not the biggest group, they are some of the current officiators. Many view them as one of the many hands of the guild pack themselves. Close retainer.
What? Do you happen to know Kaya? Kaya Kassir? Good friends with her? Them? Him? She? Her?
Yes, she is a very good friend.
Kellen will just like look at Marius and Brett and Gil and just like
At some point we were hoping to maybe speak with her. Do you know where we could find her by chance?
I have not personally spoken with her in some manner of weeks, though it is because of busyness. I would imagine going to their office right down the road. here, actually. That would be the closest way I would go about finding her. That is how I find her. If not, one of her cohorts or a fellow omen seeker will hopefully be able to assist from there anyway.
No worries. Thank you. Yeah, that helps.
Not a problem, my friends.
Kellen will like go up to Marius and like whisper to him really closely. What if he knows Liliana? What if he does?
I'll just use message.
As soon as you go to use message, there's this like little shock to your hand as you take 3 points of psychic damage as there's like a shock to your hand and your mind sort of like zips for a minute. And Zio would sort of look over. Oh, I am terribly sorry. There are many wards here for my safety measure.
Nope, that's fair. That's my fault. He's doing his best to hide it, but he's like, ow, fucking son of a... And then he'll just kind of wait until he like loses focus in him, and then be like, "Well, I don't know if we should."
Maybe it's worth a shot. Yes.
Well, maybe we know she knows Kassir. We could just wait till we talk to her, and then if she's
really powerful,
yeah, I don't think it's worth the risk. 'Cause there's a safer way.
Okay, well, you are the leader.
Oh, don't. I don't want you to not say that, but don't say you don't have to say that. But we could just wait till we find Kassir and then ask him if he knows Liliana. That way we don't have to bridge any awkward subjects. Because we don't even know how this will go. We might have to fight Nalithid at his Warforged friends.
Why do we have to do that? This is going so well.
If Strixhaven taught me anything, it's to trust nothing.
Why? He seems so trustworthy. Just look at him.
That is the story of our life. That's how we got in trouble at Strixhaven.
No, that's not how we got in trouble with Strixhaven. I'm pretty sure he's a good person.
Was the dean trustworthy? Really a good person? Not. I think we're really adept having this conversation. We're just like looking at us as we aggressively whisper back and forth.
Brett's like, hot lemon zest, huh? That's why it's so zingy. I like that. It's cool. You rub it into the sugar, you said?
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, I was muted. I tried to interject with like a Gale covering up, going like, Zio, this tea really is wonderful.
I love that you guys just keeping the main Zio busy while they're having this like kind of like rushed little secret convo off to the side.
I mean, Brett's been trying to get this lemon bar recipe since the beginning. Like, these are fantastic.
And Zio's been refusing from the beginning.
Oh, come on. Just a couple secrets. Like, just so we get backwards engineer.
Tools of the trade, reasons for you all to return.
This is kind of a remote sphere.
I do hate to kind of circle back to it, but I was curious about that collar that you said you had. This is more Gale being nervous and wanting to confirm, but she's gonna be like, do you believe, you said it was taken off with the key, but do you think it could have been dispelled?
Yes. If I had any magic ability, I would have done just that. There were points where I may have even searched for a scroll or two in their keep and cover, though they were smart enough not to leave any lying about. That did not stop me from trying to free myself once, but it was not a very fun experience being divorced from your abilities. I felt as though age had hit me, could feel my bones more. I never realized how important the weave really was until then. I saw it as a tool. It is a life source.
I just kind of feel it as a part of me. Like, I can't even imagine not being connected to it.
What if hypothetically someone's connected to the Chaos Weave? How would do you think that would feel the same for them if they were cut off? Or you tried to switch them over to the
Gail's
spell
eyes
weave?
just go wide, like suddenly realizing where she's going with or where he's going with this.
And probably that question has Zio the most interested. He's been engaged with the whole conversation, but he kind of leans in a little bit towards Brett after the line of questioning. Someone connected to the Chaos Weave, you say?
Yeah,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, because it hypothetically exists, and so hypothetically, if someone did a bunch of chaos magic and then they were using only chaos magic and and then they were all chaosy, in theory, hypothetically.
Right. In theory, someone with a true connection to the Chaos Weave would be rare. For the Chaos Weave itself is dormant, you see. Being corrupted by it or tapping into it is one thing, but to possess a true wielding of it is novel, to say the least. I'm not sure that would be truly treaded territory. Experiments definitely need to be handled in order to find how to properly execute a switch of that magnitude.
Are you saying maybe experiments you could run, or someone else?
He would sort of sit there curiously. He's deeply thinking about this thought question. Only since we just spoke of it. It is a curious thought. Perhaps if you could procure some sort of collar, some means to disconnect them from all magic, perhaps that would be your starting place. Yeah. And from there you could run tests, experiment time links, see if any amount of time with this disconnection from all magic would do anything. Perhaps mixing it with tonics. I do have a few friends in the herbal sphere that would maybe be curious to help with something like that. A purification of that would be, again, novel, profound.
Okay. Well, hypothetically, so if someone was with lots of chaos magic, hypothetically, and they were hypothetically alive because of the chaos magic, and that's the magic that they're using, and you disconnect them, they wouldn't they would die again or for the first time, right? They would be. How would you know if they need the connection to be alive, or if they're just making chaos or something? I don't know, hypothetically.
Yeah, how could you tell the difference between a corruption of chaos and a true connection?
A true connection would be visible in their aura, I would presume. The corruption spreads, consumes, though a visage of the past can always be seen in the aura, if you'd know how to read it. One that would be connected, I can only assume it would be all-encompassing. No mirror of what was there, only the existence of what is there. Chaos.
Huh.
So, thinking back on last we looked at our boy's aura.
Well, yeah, because you saw a glimpse of it, when he first woke up, Am I remembering that correctly? Or was it Elodie? I think it was Elodie. It was Phineas.
I know Phineas did. I know Phineas for sure used detect magic. I don't recall Phineas ever telling anyone.
Yeah.
But then
But-
Brett
Sorry, go
was
ahead.
told
Yes.
by
That's what I was
Quint.
gonna say. That his whole aura seems to be chaos magic, and literally his magic is different now.
Give me a deception check for Brett. I'll let you decide disadvantage, normal, advantage, just based on how well he's able to keep up this line of questioning.
Okay, like, is he deceptioning that he knows someone in this situation?
I mean,
And that this is a
it's
hypothetical?
I mean, Zio is enraptured in just the thought process of it. I guess this would mainly be for your comrades and everyone else in the room.
I'm gonna give that disadvantage. Hey, that's not terrible for Brett.
Don't we at least know that he's corrupted? Or
I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember because the only thing I for sure know is that Finn used it, saw it, and because of how everything was, I don't remember him saying anything at the moment. And then Aelity took over. And then
because I know Brett hasn't told us about
No.
yeah. I felt like Phineas had told us at one point, but maybe
maybe he hinted at something, but maybe we'll just say you guys didn't know the full extent of it.
yeah.
Because at that time, it would have looked like it was taking over, but from what Brett had heard, it's like a full thing, like strong magic aura that is chaos based.
Mm-hmm.
But with a 12 deception, all of you guys, if you think your character would be kind of inquisitive to being like, oh, what would provoke all of these questions? You can make an insight check, and I'll let you decide disadvantage, normal, advantage on how well you'd sort of read Brett.
I assume that Kellen and Marius are still in their little whisper conversation, so I don't think they're paying attention.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
I'll let you guys decide, because again, we're kind of loosey-goosey with time here, so I'll let y'all gauge that.
Marius?
Gail would definitely be like, "What the fuck, Brett? Like, you're really getting specific about the
Yeah.
Yeah, Datla's just like, she's probably enjoying hearing Zio explore like fun theories like this, so Datla's none the wiser. She's not thinking anything else.
That 18 is very fitting because it's the same as my passive.
Yeah, kind of Kellen. I like to think that this is what would have evolved while we're over there, like deep and like.
Yeah, with your guys' back and forth.
Well, like, I picture once he starts talking about the chaos is when I'd be like, maybe my voice gets higher. You're like, what do you mean he seems like a good guy? I can't trust him. He's like too wrapped up in the chaos question.
Mm-hmm.
We're covering each other right now. Brett gets away with his lies. We get away with our callous. Like,
Oh, this would be a good point. I know I saw stuff like with the people with the mustache guy at the theater. Did he look like he was like full chaos or just like corrupted chaos?
I don't know if you. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did pick up on his, huh? His was his was towards the edge. I mean, his looked like.
Like it was almost there.
His was like a corrupted. Yeah, he didn't have this like, oh wow, this guy's a beacon of chaos energy. It's like, oh yeah, there's some chaos energy seeped into his aura, so, like type of thing.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the other two. And again, they're all almost like unique in how they've spread and how they've taken over the aura, like their own strange, like Rorschach painting of chaos magic spread throughout their auras.
So that's kind of what's going through her mind. She's just like, well, I've never seen a full aura, but I feel like she's definitely picking up on like, Brett, this is a weird line of questioning. What are you getting at?
Even for you.
Yeah, with an 18 Gale, something's up with Brett's questioning. Something's up.
We're gonna save that for later.
Conversation sort of continuing on. Any other particular questions, either in that vein or anything else? As we'll say, just for fun, y'all got like 30, 40 minutes left in this ritual.
Nothing that I can think of.
Just
I don't
out
know.
of
I feel like
curiosity, how much do you think one of those, uh, magic nullifying accoutrement would cost?
I suppose it would depend on its grade. Though if you're looking for something strong enough to fully sever from the weave, I would wager at least 5,000 gold pieces, depending on where you'd find it. Something of that magnitude would be fairly valuable, though I could guess not too uncommon.
Well, that was a fun hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at those. You know, I'm an actor, actually. I do. I'm up on stage all the time, so I'm always telling stories.
And then we cut to Brett doing some handstands in this like laboratory, doing some flips.
I don't know what else to do. Distract with my body.
What do you think of? I mean, have you been down to the smelting quarters recently? Seen what's going on at the Gore House? How do you feel about that production that they're doing down there?
the
Yeah,
the
you see any
Gore
shows
House.
there?
I have ventured to the smelting quarter many a times. I've seen the Gore House. I myself have never entered the establishment, though I see their signs for the various places and
Yeah,
events
like that
held.
sign of the play that they're doing, like the show, the acts that they've got going on there. Have you seen that?
Not that I can recall. I haven't been through the smelting quarter in some time. I try to buy my supplies in bulk. There are untrustworthy folk in the smelting quarters at times, and I find it best to keep my business there at a minimum. Oh, is this the show you all are attending?
I mean, yeah, we were trying to gauge like what people were thinking about it. Do you guys remember what all the acts are?
Zio probably looks over at Brett as he's like finishing up like a cartwheel. Oh, I see. You all must be performing at this Gore House then, taking up their attire to match the clientele.
We wish. It's like a big venue.
Yeah, we're probably not ready for such a big stage, but I mean, it's part of the dream though, right? Haha.
I mean, we got like killed it in our performances last night. Like, though I guess we didn't make nearly what we did today just now.
Yeah, it's not soul business money.
Well, and I yeah, but so we're going to see that midnight performance, and there's like three acts, I think.
Mistress of Pain. That one guy that everyone likes over there. I forget his name.
I also forget his name. And there's like the
I really thought I wrote
And
down
there's,
the
like,
other
the-
two, but I
there's, like, the
apparently
Wicked
did not.
Witch of the Dead featuring that what's her name? That I think it's Liliana Vess.
Hmm. This is the performance you are attending to see this Mistress of Pain and Bitch of the Dead.
I mean, we
Oh, Cackling Devil.
Cackling Devil, that was it.
Cackling Devil. I mean, we
Yeah,
we wanted to go see
we're gonna go see that performance. It's like, I guess it's like a
we wanted to
3-part
go
show
check
or
out the
something.
venue and stuff. Like maybe see if like maybe one day we could perform there.
Hmm. It is very fair with this Liliana Vess. I find it distasteful in what they've done. Troped her about on the streets, gallivanting her for persecution. If she is to serve her time, she should do it in solitude, alone.
I feel like that's
Right.
fair.
Insight?
Did you say insight?
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Yeah, I think Gail would be like, dude, do you feel like she is still guilty, though, of the crimes that they've accused her?
The tin Kellen.
it's
It's hard to read this illithid. I'm sort of looking over at Gail. What she did was horrid. Much like my people. I said I do not blame them for perceiving me in certain ways. I understand that they look at me as someone to take their rage out on. This is the same for Liliana Vess, I perceive. From my understanding, it was her choice to double-cross Nico Bolas. If she had not done that, he would have won this War of the Spark. I was here. I saw the carnage. But I don't wish to speak of those times. Only what she did, not what she decided to do.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we didn't bring it up to him then. Alan thinks to himself.
But he did say he
Yes,
thinks everyone
but
deserves a second chance.
he's not. He's not best
He's not
friends
what?
with Kaya Kassir then, maybe. Not that good.
If you were real friends,
He'd
you
be
would
in on
know.
this, bro. Could all be best friends.
Yeah, his POV is, I mean, everyone deserves a second chance, but if you're punished and you have to be sentenced and you have to serve it, it shouldn't be as she's had to serve hers. That's like
Publicly
his
As
biggest
public.
gripe with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I like your form of justice there. Go. Stern but fair.
Any other questions for Zio the Monomind as you guys maybe have 10, 15 minutes left in this ritual? Probably been a new tray of like sort of goodies that have been sort of appeared and created before your eyes with the snap of his fingers. Maybe at the request of someone, he's even changed the tea to be like a different flavor for someone else's preference.
Gale. What'd you pick?
I just really, a nice oolong. Haven't had that in a minute. If you got it.
Zio easily accommodating, snap of a finger. You'd even see the teapot itself would change. It would all sort of shift as it would begin to heat up.
That's fun.
I can't think of any other questions that I have for Zio. I don't know if anybody else has any.
I mean, I guess it'll come up after the ceremony's done, like, because I don't know. I, as a player / Brett, are leaning towards the assumption that our Warforged friend is going to want to come with us, which means we'll need a means of communication, presumably some sending stones.
I'm not gonna assume anything about Vors. I don't know what he's gonna do, so.
I mean, this doesn't seem like his kind of plan.
No, but I don't know if he's
to be
gonna
honest.
stick it out with us either. I don't know if he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll with you guys now. Now that I've been untrapped from my prison that I've been existing in for X amount of who knows how long.
I say we get Vors up. Obviously, either way, he's still gonna need some time. But maybe once he's up and feels comfortable, and we'll be like, okay, we'll check back before our show. Then we go shopping. Maybe pick up some sending stones because he'll probably. I feel like, given any situation, really, it'd probably just be good to have those. Whether I don't know.
I think it'd be nice to have some that we could use like as a group. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's like a thing. We should shop for that.
Yeah, like it wouldn't hurt just to have them anyways for us if we end up not using it to like keep in touch with Vors if he stays or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, the earrings are nice, but like that's really only close distance. We don't really have anything besides Brett's spell casting for long distance.
Yeah. So let's fast forward then, right? No more questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of much else really.
Fair
Also,
enough.
if I've realized the more questions I ask, the more I risk giving info. Because I'm just inherently
Marius, you got
bad about that.
Anything else? Kitty dog.
Jade?
Oh no, did we lose a Master Carson?
Uh-oh.
What if he's asking the most important question?
Oh,
No,
is
I'm
he
good.
coming back? Is the Chad
You got
back?
anything?
Hello?
Got any other questions
Hello?
for
No.
No.
No. That's my bad. I have my mic muted and then Discord asking keys.
You're good.
Hello?
All right. That final 10-15 minutes elapsing. Seeing the main Zio head back over towards the end and sort of join that connection with the secondary one. The second one not having to work quite as hard as they sort of split the load for this final push. Towards the end, you could see the ring that has been just fully seated on like the center of the chest still throughout the whole process. During the final 30 seconds of this process, the ring would almost begin to melt and merge into the Warforged itself. That sort of head of the ring, that top, that almost like looks like a head, like a brain, would melt and merge straight into the center of this chest, almost being the final component of the entity itself. And as that final 30 seconds completes, there'd be this a bit of a lightning crack sound that would sort of fill the space. All of you maybe having to like shield your ears as it sort of pops out loud. After a moment, there'd be silence. About 15, 20 seconds later, there still wouldn't be any motion. Zio taking like a half step towards the Warforged. Just sort of place his hand right on the center. And you guys would see the lights sort of light up this very fine pale blue color as the Warforged would sort of sit up. There wouldn't be like a whole lot of noise, but you would hear like a slight bend and creak of metal as it sort of sits up. Looking around the space, you would see that there actually are like little like shutters almost, like eyelids that sort of blink and look around the space as it's sort of taking it all in. The eyes would just look like these pale blue lights. Again, no real fine detail to it. The sort of fine carvings across its form. They just, again, look like carvings. They're not lit up in any way. Just this middle entity looking around the structure of the space for the first time. After maybe like a minute of the construct taking in the space, Zio would probably look over at Kellen and would probably give like a hand motion to like say something.
How do you feel, Boris? Can you say things?
And like sort of this wandering look is sort of that's been going on sort of fixates on you, Kellen. You can see those little shutters sort of like blink a few times. And slightly more echoey, slightly more metallic. You hear Vorz's voice sort of come out from this entity. It would have a bit of these like cogs and gears like up on the tops of its jaws, so it does have like a hinged mouth that moves when it speaks. I feel good. I feel really good. Whoa. Oh.
How's the vision? You seeing all right?
And like Zio like perks up as well as soon as you ask the question he was clearly wanting to ask as well.
Yeah. Gale remembered.
It looks great. I mean, I'm technically seeing this for the first time, right?
Through your own eyes.
True.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday! Yeah.
Is it too early? Should we maybe cut out the lights in here and test looking over it? Vors or not Vors?
Zio would give a bit of a nod and give a hard like snap of his fingers as all of the lights in this like in pretty good sized workshop that you guys entered would just sort of shut out in a notice. Anyone without dark vision, it is just pitch black in here. And Vors would almost like chuckle. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I could see.
Is he glowing at all?
Just his eyes. You would see the glow from the eyes of the Warforged.
And that is the only thing I can see.
And another hard snap, and the lights would sort of come back to life in the space. Okay, excellent. I see you were able to get up. Here, let's try a little bit of motor skills. And he goes to begin to help him up off the table. And if you guys remain in here, there'd be a little bit of almost like light PT, at least like a little bit of like minor physical training S techniques just to get Vors like comfortable in this new form and not walking like almost like bow-legged, like strangely, like with these wide steps. But he just has more of like a natural walk. I mean, he would almost like move around a bit comfortably. This going on for, about 2-ish hours or so. First hour being shaky. second hour, he's like sort of walking to you guys, like shaking hands. Probably like comes up to Kellen and gives like a hug
Aw.
at some point.
Aww.
And is like moving around the space and probably just like talking and like commenting and like maybe asking like a few questions, and Zio just reassuring him like, now if like you're gonna, this is highly durable, like the power core will actually help regenerate with enough time. Just like,
Can he go in water?
yep, he can go in water. He's pretty heavy, so he'll just sink pretty fast, but
Yeah.
he doesn't need to breathe, doesn't need anything.
Do you need oil? You need oil some joints?
He does not. He is magically tuned.
Oh.
Magically tuned. And probably like towards the end of this, like again, like maybe 2-ish hours of time or so. Vor's probably like sits back up on the table, feeling pretty comfortable, looks at his like metal form. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but could I maybe get some clothes or some kind of just like a hat and like a cloak? Just I feel a little. And Zio gives like a nod. Yes, yeah, this is very common for those that take on this form. And he would move over to one of these cabinets, like wrench it open.
In the meantime, I minor illusion a sensor bar over.
He doesn't have any
Gale.
bits. He's a robot.
I know, but it's just like a block over his abdomen. Just like bloop. There you go. There's something.
Fair. And you would sort of come back over. He has like a few different options, probably tries a few different things on. And like Vor's sort of lands on this like purple, almost like wizard's hat, and this like purple, almost like blanket cloak that sort of goes across the shoulders and sort of across his front slightly, but sort of drapes across his back pretty low. If he sort of pulls into it, he can sort of like obscure himself, or he can like tuck his head low and kind of obscure his face from his like wide brimmed like purple wizard's hat. He's just like sort of adjusting to it. This looks good. This looks
I mean,
covering
we can
enough,
always
I
go
suppose.
pick out some stuff too if you want, boys. Yeah, our treat.
Our treat.
You shopping?
Yeah, we could go shopping.
Yeah, their treat.
Actually was curious. He sort of looks at his like construct hands, and he looks over at Marius. Could I try playing your lute? I've wanted to ask before on the ship,
Oh,
but Kellen's hands aren't really built for that. It felt strange.
They're
Well,
dexterous in different ways.
how about we just find you a loot when we're out in the market?
Let him try.
Oh, come on.
No.
I mean, I just wish to attempt to play it. I don't want to spend money on a lute. I don't have the skill to play just yet.
Oh,
I don't have much coin. I do not wish to financially burden you all.
Oh, pish posh.
You're no burden.
yeah, they already said their treat. So, and this was a gift already. So,
I mean, we can't just put you in a body and then dump you, you know? Like, that's...
unless
Seems
you
a
want
little
us
harsh.
to, but
It is fine. We can try it at the shop before purchasing later. Then
yeah, it's just a special loot. You
Like,
understand?
Vors looks at his hands again, just sort of like, again, he has like little digits and everything, so like
Alright, I
they're
forgot to
very
tell you, Marius is a
mobile.
little sensitive about this stuff.
And
Were you a
most
spellcaster at all?
I'm not sensitive. It's from Saloon.
I was proficient in select spellworks. I never thought to attempt anything, especially in Kellen's form.
Do you wanna try something? Like, kind of pull out my wand.
I I would sort of take the wand, maybe try some movements. Nothing happens from it. Maybe he tries like a different position and like nothing happens from it. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
Maybe you
again-
don't need a wand. I mean, you're already kind of a magical conduit. Maybe you just got to figure it out different now. You know, it's not the same body.
Zio would chime in that vein. I believe you are equipped with what I have liked to call thunder gauntlets, giving you some means of physically protecting yourselves. I do not wish you to try them here. It is fairly simple, self-engaging for what I've understood. Just take a good swing and they'll should engage properly. With that, Vors, and you're now comfortable at a rapid speed, I must say. I mean, less than 3 hours to be fully situated is rare. But and he's like almost filling out like notes in this book. Well, that would lead to my next line of questioning, which would be, how long are you looking to stay here on Ravnica itself? Vors would sort of like turn his head curiously, blink a few times. Well, I was hoping to go back to my homelands, but I think my saviors here may need me to hang around a little bit longer, but once there, all helped, I would like to go back home. And you would see Zia look over, and you 4, 5, Datla just like, no, sorry, different crew, close acquaintances, that's all. Right, you 4, are you looking to stay here in Ravnica for some time?
Oh, this is all just happenstance. We were gonna head out hopefully the next day or so. But you know.
Yeah, I mean, although we are the same crew, we are kind of leaving with them, pointing towards Datla.
Yeah, we kind of have to go help our friend on another ship that got kind of stranded, and
yeah, our ship got kind of wrecked. They picked us up. We're getting repairs here. It's a whole thing.
But you know, like if Vors wanted to hang out with us for a couple of days, we could find a few things, and then you know, or he could stay here with you, and they could say goodbye, give him a little coin for his trip.
Zia would look over to Vors, and Vors would just sort of sit there. I mean, if it's all my choice, I would prefer to leave with my friends and keep their company while I adjust. While I do thank you, Zio, and I do trust you much more than I did upon my first glancing upon you, I think I would be more comfortable in this adjustment with them. Though I would not mind stopping by again before we leave, if timing perhaps works out. And Zio gives a bit of a nod. This was what I was not looking forward to, but that is your choice. If it is all right with you, Vors, I would like to install a means for us to communicate. Nothing too strenuous or draining on your power supply, but once per day, you are able to contact me, then I can use my means to keep us in touch from there. If that is suitable, I would like to keep that line of communication open for any questions or concerns you may have during your adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, what if something stops working, right? You know.
Yeah, plus we can always stop by before we leave. Just have one more little look over, or, you know, if you have any problems while adjusting.
Forrest gives a bit of a nod. Okay. Yeah. I don't see why not. Sure. And Zio gives a nod. Should be a fairly speedy installation process, maybe 30 minutes. Here, go ahead and lay back down on the table here. Moves over to some cabinets. Another 30, maybe 45 minutes at most sort of goes by as you would see Zio like carefully taking off some plates and like almost adding in these almost like interior cover plates to have a few runes and etchings and placed on them. And after sort of covering up a panel or two with just like 3 or 4 sigils, you would watch him do a pretty lengthy casting, maybe half of the time spent, and then a quick pulse of energy. I mean, for you guys especially, this kind of felt a little bit like when you guys got your tattoos, like as far as like the process and like the energy of it and like how it all went. This definitely feels a lot like that, like imparting a spell onto like physical form. And so after getting that installed, putting all the plates back on, Vors would sort of sit back up, sort of adjust himself. All right, it feels fine. I don't even notice anything. And Zio gives like a bit of a nod. That would be the point. Now, if you do need to speak to me, simply will it. Think my name, Zio the Monomind, and think through your thought to send. I will take care of the rest from there as far as reciprocating and continuing our line of dialogue. And Vors gives like a bit of a nod and sort of standing up from the table, sort of like putting his cloak back on and grabbing his like hat. Yeah, right. That works. Looking at all of you and like Datla included, thank you all for staying here during all of this. I'm sure it was terribly boring and uninspiring, but it means a lot. I am continually in your debts.
Again, we're glad that you're here, boys.
Yeah, quite fascinating. I mean, honestly, I never really expected us to be able to put you in a body, so
I told you
I
I
had
would
to
do it.
jump at that opportunity, right?
You did. You did, in fact, say that, Kellum. Who would have thought? You stumbling on my ring and me trying to kill your dwarf friend all those months ago would have led here to this.
I thought for sure he just like wanted it.
And if there's nothing else with Zio, you guys would say your goodbyes.
Thanks for everything.
I'm sorry, coughed. You guys would say your goodbyes. Zio thanking all of you again. Again, letting Vors know to feel free to come by before they leave. As you guys sort of step out from this, again, beautiful, almost Gothic Victorian estate, walking past all of the grown-up shrubs and trees and bushes that sort of line this little front yard.
As we're leaving, Gale suddenly remembers, like, Brett can do sending, and with that little mention of your wards earlier, if we ever tried to contact you, would that be an issue?
Zio would like probably give a grin again if he could, his tentacles maybe like flexing up a little bit. Incoming spells I can choose to accept or decline when inside the space. Spells from unsigned attendants of the space have their magic inerted. So you may have a bit of a delay, especially if I'm in the middle of a project, but regardless, I am quick to return such messages.
You hear that, Brett? You won't get hurt.
I'm gonna bother you about that lemon bar recipe. You wait, just when you forget.
Trust me, and again, we'll give you a reason to come back to see me before you all leave Ravnica.
Woo.
Ah, smart.
2 weeks later. Just fucking take it, for the love of God.
And as you guys sort of leave this beautiful estate, looking up at the sky, again, it's been about like 3-4-ish hours at this point, loosely. It's getting close to about 2 o'clock or so, give or take. Sort of looking around the space. Again, it's not too like terribly like traffic heavy here in let's see, sorry, I'm not looking at a map. I'm in Griffin Heights. Seeing a bit of these carriages coming and going, strange, colorful beasts carrying them, a few people milling about. As you guys step out into the street, Datla sort of looking elated, Vor's fully taking in this huge place as he's just like kind of in the middle of you guys, just like in awe. You would see his like those little shutters just like blinking hard, just looking at like all the buildings and how spread out this place is, even just in Griffin Heights itself. You guys would look over, you could see Omen Seekers, again, a couple buildings down, just across the street here. No real traffic around it. A little bit of traffic around you, but you guys would have, again, like maybe 10-ish hours or so
stop in?
until your show tonight.
I mean, we might as well.
You need Datla here?
We have plenty of time.
Datla is here.
I don't know if we
We
need.
need Datla here for this
If you
bit. Can we
guys
just
wanna
send her back
do
to the
that.
ship?
Be weird.
I don't,
Just
I
be
don't
like,
think
hey,
that'd
we're
be a
just gonna
good
stop in
idea.
here real quick. Like, now that we did the thing, like, you can go back to the ship and we'll meet you back there. We're just gonna go sightseeing for a little bit.
I mean, I guess we could take her back, shop on the way, and I don't care.
Honestly, Gale doesn't really see the point in contacting them right now until, unless like shit goes south with our plan.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. At least we have a lead.
But she wouldn't necessarily be voicing that right now because her mind would be focusing on trying to remember if she's seen any of those
We're gonna let-
wands that she's been wanting
Gonna let
in all
Boris
the
pick out
window
some
shopping
clothes.
we've done here. Yeah, and she wants to take Vor's shopping.
She also think about saving some money.
Yeah,
so
we now
get
also
a
need a
tattoo.
forever companion for me and Vors.
No.
Vors is gonna.
You already have
wants
it.
to go
It's
back to his
Vor's.
mom.
He's here.
He's gonna leave me eventually.
You could convince him.
Once he's done with our business, he's gonna
That'd be
gotta take
fine.
him back. Where are you going?
So are we going shopping?
Sounds
or are we
like I'm
going to the
outvoted
Omen
again.
Seekers?
Since we were gonna,
Sounds like we're not going to the
What?
Omen Seekers.
then you want to go shopping? Well,
I haven't heard Bryce's opinion yet, or Brett's
we can.
opinion.
I mean, I'm fine because we can always just pop in just to see where she's at in general. I don't know. We have the time. We're here.
I mean, maybe we could just see if she's even here and introduce ourselves and just say, I don't know, feel it out. See if maybe we could set it up as an established plan B. Like, hey, hypothetically, if we hypothetically maybe got stranded on the planet, hypothetically, because we made a dumb decision, that kind of thing, hypothetically. Could we rely on you to help us out?
Hypothetical kind of day.
It just seems like such a strange thing to be happening.
Well, let's just see if they're even there more. Step at a time, huh?
I mean, yeah, because we could just let her know that, like, assuming she's here and we get to talk to her and whatever, that we're gonna try to break Liliana out. And so if she hears some news about that, maybe expect some stray cats at your back door. Wink, wink.
I guess, yeah, I guess that's fair. That's not the worst thing to like say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Haha. Real life persuasion skills.
We
Active.
could at least find a maybe get a place we could lay low.
Exactly.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Correct. You have not been outvoted, Kellen.
Datla is still with you guys, by the way.
Well, I thought we were just sending her back.
But I feel weird having her with us.
Bye-bye now.
If you were to ask her, if you asked her, she would want to head back to the ship by herself. She would
Yeah,
not feel comfortable.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's the thing.
Well, how about
So I
Couple
feel
you
like
just wait outside.
maybe Gale, Vors, and Datla do a little bit of like shopping for Vors on the way back to the ship, and then Gale will meet back up with you guys, maybe with
Are you trying to
Vors
swipe
still,
in on my
if he
stuff
wants
again,
to.
Gale?
I just
Yours is
you
mine.
like okay, for just out of character, in character for like you guys, it's your characters that really want to do this. Gale doesn't really care either way,
You're hungry.
but you have convinced me as a player that this is a smart thing to like let them know that like, hey, shit might go down tonight.
Yeah, I still
And also,
feel
we
weird
don't want
having
Datla
She
there.
already took in part of our money, right?
So
That should be Boris's money. I'm just saying.
the best in character explanation would be, hey, let's get you back to the ship. Let's get Vor some clothes. You guys are gonna go do whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Boris, what do you think, man? You okay with going with Gale and Dalla?
Vor's still like almost gawking at the surroundings. Still would like look back. I
promise we'll meet up
I
in a little bit.
suppose.
We're all going back to the same place. We've just got to make a quick stop, real quick. You gonna be
Sure.
your
Why
like
not?
protector?
I just gained this form a couple hours ago. I'm not sure how protector I would be, but sure.
You just
Honestly,
gotta look tough.
just give me your best poker face right now. Just just like blank expression.
He just stares at you. He just doesn't blink. That's the only change in expression.
Perfect. You look so menacing and big right now. How big is he?
Okay.
I mean, he's like 6'5", 6'6".
I think
Jesus,
I'll be fine,
yeah,
bud.
you big. Yeah. You just gotta look like that. Look like a bodyguard. Just walk behind us. Your small things you're protecting. Just that look, perfect. Mwah.
So Datla, Gale, Vors begin to head back, probably to like Plaza Avenue, maybe even like dip over to 10th Street afterwards, do a little bit of shopping.
Pick out
He's gonna
Vors
be
whatever he
okay.
wants.
You're gonna dress him up weird.
He's gonna dress himself however he wants. I mean, Gale's gonna try and not let him go wacky. Be like, maybe don't put like purple and yellow together.
Let him express himself. You cooped up in a ring the whole time. Or you can just dress him up like us. So he fits in.
That's fair. That's fair. And then we would see Brett, Marius, and Kellen sort of parting ways. We see our group sort of split up now, 3 and 3. Let's go to our shopping guys first.
Shopping.
As we would see, you guys can make your way kind of up north through Statue Avenue over to Whitestone. Take that cut over, heading back to the 10th District Plaza. We probably start with that montage of getting Vors dressed up. He would probably want to keep his like cloak and hat. He really likes them, but he would add like a tunic and like this under vest that goes underneath it. These fairly, kind of basic pants with these like high, almost like knee leather boots. He kind of just looks like almost like average guy, like as far as attire is concerned. And then he just has this purple kind of like, almost like, again, just like blanket-esque cloak, a purple kind of floppy brimmed wizard hat. He's just sort of like, looks kind of like dapper. You guys probably do walk by like an instrument shop at some point. He probably runs in, is like messing with some of the stringed instruments and just like plucking away at some. And then he would settle on like what looks like, I mean, for us it's a guitar, but it's like this real ornate looking lute, and it's like kind of bougie, but it has kind of flowery etchings, like kind of sort of like his own, so it almost matches a little bit. And it's like he can kind of play a note, but it's like not great, but he's like enthusiastic about it. As soon as he like plays 1 or 2 notes, and he just like looks at Gale, is this one all right?
I mean, does it feel good? Yeah,
It feels good. Does it look good?
I mean, I think it just kind of looks a little small just because you're so big, but like, I mean, it looks good. It's a good looking loot.
He'll roll a performance check. Oh, it is not very good, but like there's the makings of like understanding, but his fingers are just like having a hard time hitting some of the frets and getting some of the actual notes right. And he's like kind of frustrated. Okay, maybe not yet. Maybe I shouldn't get this. I don't want you to spend all your gold on something like this.
No. How much? Looking at the clerk.
The shopkeep, this like elven kind of older dude, kind of balding. For that guy, 6 gold pieces, handmade.
Oh, easy. Done.
So we'll say for all of Vors's clothing options, we'll say 10 gold gets him all his attire. Maybe he even has like his own little satchel.
I also, at the clothing store, want to either, if they could sew it on to like her pants, she wants to get a little like inside pocket done up against like the belt part of her pants, so then she can put the new pouch of money on the inside of her pants.
Easy enough to take off 5 silver as well, just for that little extra bit. So you're like, hey, could you do this? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, I got a couple extra pairs of pants. Could you do it for these? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, cool. So you got that on like all your main pants anyways.
Yeah.
Easy enough. That's kind of like all like the fun shopping montage for Vors. He's sort of dressed up, has his guitar, sort of like almost like bardic attire. He looks very bard like, but he's just like probably walking, like trying to poorly play this like this big lute. But even for him, it looks kind of small. Just like trying to plug at the strings. Damn it, fine. But it just puts it on his back and just sort of continues on with you and Datla. Where else you going by, Gale? What else you looking for?
Gale's looking for one of those friggin', what was it, Warcaster wands? That +1 wand?
Yeah. Roll me a d8.
Yeah. Mid. 4.
4. As you're sort of shopping about, You would see a kind of a smaller, sort of like not really dingy, but a little bit more humble magic shop than some of the other ones that you've passed by so far. Some of the other ones, they looked good and they may have had some options, but they were all kind of pricey. You feel like you could have got a better deal. So sort of skipping by one or two, you find this place. It's a Far Good Goods. You're like, okay.
Far Good Goods.
And you sort of walk into
Okay.
the small space. It's a very simple stone building, has some like exposed wood beams sort of along its general frame that sort of hang out outside the stone, sort of clash slightly.
Why do I
but-
feel like Way Papa runs this shop?
That would be funny.
Far Good Goods.
Stepping in, after doing a little bit of window shopping inside the space, looking at some of their goods, you would find one of these Wand of the War Mage.
That's
Yes.
it. Wand of the War
You
Mage.
sort of like look at it almost like gawking. Roll me a d6, my good sir.
Oh God.
1. So
I
as
don't
you're
know
sort
if
of
that's good or bad.
you're sort of looking at it, the lizard folk shopkeeper would sort of come over and in a little bit of like a broken common would begin to try to sell you it. Again, just like mechanically letting you know that while holding this wand, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls determined by the wand's rarity. In addition, you ignore half cover when making attacks. And you would learn that this is an uncommon Wand of the War Mage, so it is a +1 to all spell attack rolls. After kind of talking back and forth, his asking price would be 1,700 gold pieces.
Oh. That's even more expensive than the other place.
You could try to haggle with them. Do a little back and forth.
Out of curiosity, because you said broken English, is there any chance these were one of the languages he might speak? Gail, in like the initial talking, Gail would kind of like test out a few little phrases here and there of each, just to see.
He would not pick up on any of those, unfortunately. He would appreciate the attempt, like trying to like help bridge that gap, but he would just sort of continue on in his, again, just like slightly belabored English or English common. But sort of continuing on with the trade. 1,700 gold pieces, and this bad boy is all yours. Unless you had anything else to add to it.
17. Okay. Oh, no. Don't want to give that up. There is always the thought of like, I could try and exchange the Moonstone wand.
You haven't even tried haggling with the guy yet.
Well, yeah.
You're already looking at stuff to throw in the pot.
I'm thinking about all of my options here.
Fair enough.
What about 1250?
Give me a persuasion check. And I'll say, as Datla's sort of like there and probably interested in the wand, she would probably chime in to like give you some help. Like, I mean, 12 would be a lot for us, but I think it's well worth it. Just like trying to help your cause. Like, she knows full well you could afford more, but she understands the game. She's a spellcaster.
You said persuasion.
Persuasion with advantage. A 23. It would maybe take a little bit, the lizard folk shopkeep probably being a little reluctant at first, a little bit of haggling, and you maybe almost have to jump to like throwing in the moonstone, but after like a prolonged pause, the lizard folk would kind of abruptly go, "Deal, gold," and just like hold out their hand.
She fumbles for, and then she's like, "Oh right, my new pouch."
All right, secret pocket.
1250.
Nice. 1250. Passing it over.
5, 2, 3, 3. Minus. Yeah, no, I'll make that all gold.
Fair enough.
It's just easier.
Fair enough, my lord. And go ahead and add the Wand of the War Mage. You can put like +1 or uncommon, either way, but you get a +1 to all spell attack rolls.
I have no idea if this will actually help with this spell, but this will still be handy.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
What does this one look like?
You tell me. That's what I was about to ask. As it's like taken out of the case and like put in your hand, what's this wand look like?
Maybe it's another crystal looking wand like the other one. But maybe that one, with the natural one, it would have been like the perfect shade of like blue and white to like go perfectly with like her natural colors.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, maybe it's more like purple and pink, almost slightly like chaos energy looking.
But it's got that pink in there to sort of wash it out.
Yeah, and then maybe like the hilt or like the handle is dipped in silver or platinum or something.
Ooh, hell yeah, something bougie.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hell yeah. Add your sick new wand to your inventory. As you guys leave, Datla probably wants to like examine it because she's like, "That is so awesome." And as you like take it back and like put it in your holster, you're like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, buddy.
Any other shopping you're trying to do while you guys are out and about? This whole process taking you maybe like an hour or so, just sort of milling about, getting Vors taken care of, finding this particular shop.
Does require attunement. Now Gail's gonna spend the rest of the time like, all right, let's walk back and spend an hour walking and attuning to their new wand.
Hell yeah, easy enough. Using that last time, going back to Wayport.
Maybe grab some food. Oh yeah, Vors doesn't need to eat. Well, Gail's hungry.
Yeah, Datla will probably join you. You guys get some good street food. There's tons that you'd pass. I mean, even in the city, tons of restaurants, cafes on 10th Street, on Wayport, lots of little kiosks and booths, all manner of stuff you guys could have found.
Hell yeah.
All right. Getting your food, returning back to the Gilded Leaf. Again, maybe 2 or so hours after leaving your patriots or your compatriots in Griffin Heights. As we'll sort of cut back, a little timey-wimey, rewind. As we would see as our group split off 3 and 3. You can see Brett, Kellen, and Marius begin to walk across the street from Zio the Monomine's home. Going a couple houses over, seeing this again, like similarly crafted, but again, a different inspiration. Another one of these like Victorian homes that sort of line the street. This one almost looking like a New York brownstone, sort of like meshed hard with an old school Victorian home. A big wraparound porch that sort of goes around the whole place. It's not connected to any other buildings. You can see the plot of land goes back a good ways. While it would be fenced, it's like this like wrought iron fencing around it. So you can see there's like some secondary building out back. But this main building that you guys would begin to approach, you'd see that over the sort of front steps that lead up to that wraparound porch, there would be that sign that caught all of your eyes, that almost circular emblem, the Omen Seekers, headed by Kaya Kasser. 3 of you stepping up these steps, heading up to the door. Anything particular from you all? Any convos or last minute words before you get to the door?
Who's gonna do the
Since
talking?
she's the leader.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
I mean, it makes sense.
As you guys get to the door, I imagine Brett being the one who maybe knocks hard on the door, because again, this very much looks like a home. And again, just like how Zio's did. This one looks just like a home, but it does have that business sign out front. Your first instinct is just to knock hard on the door. There'd be a little bit of a pause, maybe 15, 20 seconds. All of you give me perception checks.
They're running out the back. Woo! On a roll, Brett.
Oh,
He's in fact not on roll.
What's happening?
That's why you're the leader.
Nice. I'm saying that.
Marius, you're probably sitting there in the silence, just kind of going over what you're going to say, just running through some scenarios. And from inside, you hear a faint female voice. I'm coming. 1 minute, I'm coming. You're like, oh, okay. And almost another, 20 seconds later after that, you would hear the door click, 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 unlocked as it's wrenched open. It's a pretty good sized door, and sort of poking through the doorway, almost leaning through it. You would see this maybe late 20s, early 30s, dark-skinned woman with this sort of tuft of very tightly curled hair that sort of flumes out almost like a lioness from behind. She would have these piercing dark green eyes, a bit of this perpetual smirk on her face, this sort of tight leather jacket with this attached hood that has shoulders over it. She looks, honestly, very it's like a dapper rogue. It's the best way I could put it. And she's sort of leaning out the doorway, looking at you all. You guys are not who I expected to see here. Sorry. Not a good greeting. Hi, Kaya Kasser, Omen Seekers. How can I help you?
You're Kai Kasser?
Yeah. Usually I have, one of the other workers here, one of my teammates, get the door and such, but they're out on assignment.
Fair.
So-
It's hard to
You mean the kid?
find good
sorry,
help.
no. This is not what you think it is. We are not
What?
part
Oh.
of that.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Anyway,
you guys
could
aren't
we?
locals?
No, could we maybe
Oh.
talk inside? But no, we're not. This was just, Wind in Ravnica, as they say. It'll catch
Sure.
on.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not used to, lack of a better word, tourists coming to my place. Sure. Yeah. And she takes a step back, opening the door up for you all to sort of come in. Seeing this beautiful entryway. It would have these double staircases that sort of twin up and spiral to the upper balcony that looks over. You can see there's more side stairs that go up to a third floor. The space of this place being much bigger on the interior. The spatial magic definitely present here. To your left would be this large dining hall. To your right would be what looks like another tea room, sunroom, kind of like a customary in some of these builds, you would guess. And as the door sort of shut behind you, Kaya sort of looks over. Yeah. So you guys got need help or something?
Well, is there anybody else around? He's gonna look around real quick. Are we free to speak, or? I was just.
Yeah. If it's sensitive, you're good. You're good. This
Okay.
place is concealed. Don't worry.
Well, it might be sensitive. Do you happen to know a Liliana that's got captured? It's in a performance tonight. She said that she knows you.
And her eyes would sort of narrow at you. Yeah, why are you asking me about Liliana Vess?
Well, so, and we're not trying to bring you into anything, but we were trying to get her out of her current predicament. And when we asked if anybody could be of use, she said maybe. She didn't say you'd help us, but we just thought maybe we would just kind of be like, hey, and just, we're obviously not from here, and maybe you could just give us a little insight. You don't have to help. I don't even know what your relationship is. So anyway, she said that we could seek you out. Let's just start there.
And she would sort of like look at all three of you.
I'm just trying to
And
read her.
Give me an insight check.
Is she mad? Is she surprised? Is she
As
just
Brett,
everybody's
paying
looking at
attention.
each other up and down.
We're all squinting at each other.
I like those moments where you get a peek in everyone's head.
With a 14, a 21, 18. Marius, it's kind of a hard read. She's
I'm in it.
definitely like looking at you very curiously and then is taking in all three of you with like a very curious interest. For Brett and for Kellen, she is super caught off guard by this and is like looking at all of you and is like just taking in that like you guys are plotting to like hopefully free her and like is super caught off guard. Okay.
So
Non-locals coming here to free her.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you three?
Well, she's like a mentor to us, I guess you could say. And
When was the last time that you had contact with
yeah.
with Liliana?
I'll answer that if you answer the same question when I'm done.
I think that's fair.
When we were last in contact?
Correct.
I
Okay.
don't see why not.
Question for question. Sounds up.
Outside of seeing her in the Guild Pact chamber during her hearing, a few months ago or something like that. The last time I saw Liliana Vess, I decided not to kill her. I decided not to bring her in.
Okay.
Me and my friends, the Omen Seekers, we were tasked with finding her after the War of the Spark. The woman I found, broken, sundered, that was not Liliana Vess. I believed her words when she said Liliana Vess was dead, and she looked to keep it that way. I took her at her word. She was a fool who apparently came back here to get caught for whatever fucking reason, bringing me into question of my judgment. If it wasn't for the Guild Pact themselves, I would probably be in her same predicament. Now, how about you? When was the last time you were in contact with Liliana Vess?
Oh, yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. Like I didn't. She didn't ever meant to come back here. There wasn't another choice. Maybe.
What would bring her back to this place? She knew the consequences if she got caught. Yet she came back here anyways, like an idiot. I gave her a free ticket. She burned it.
Well, wait. That free ticket was like semi-recently, and then like you let her go, and then she came back, right? Because I feel like we're kind of the reason that you found her the first time. So we like kind of owe her one.
When I first found Liliana Vess, this was just after the War of the Spark, some 10, 11 years ago.
Okay, maybe that was.
I had no knowledge of her presence here in the city until I was called in for the trial. I kept it fairly hush. It was a rumor. I didn't believe it until I saw her.
Can I try and subtle spell detect magic?
Yeah.
And take a point out. And I just want to see if I see any chaos magic before I.
You would sort of do
I'll
like a.
defend her.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean, she's like kind of preoccupied with like convo between all of you.
So I'll subtle
Okay.
spell it, and then.
And you, cat's going crazy.
I want to play.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on in the
Losing your
background?
mind.
He's very chatty. What do you want?
I want to play, mother.
He's like, don't tell her anything. You can't trust Guy, you see.
Doing some detect magic. You would not get any chaos magic in her aura, though it would be a very deep purple with like this white and pink fringe and almost core to it. You would get a strong undead presence from her magic, like very strong undead presence.
Okay. So then once I could kind of check that off, I might subtly just have you ever heard of like the Auric?
Auric, no.
No, have you ever heard of chaos magic?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay, well, like high level, we may have gotten into some trouble with some people who use chaos magic. And Liliana was helping us out, and she came back here to get some supplies for a spell so she couldn't be found. And it was a trap. And it was kind of us who started it all, so we're just trying to free her. So, but if you're on bad terms, we don't want to drag you into anything. We just thought we'd touch base.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
sorry
you
if we
know,
wasted your time. I just,
but yeah, I didn't want to rock the boat. But I mean, if you have any interest in helping or providing some insight, and we could take it or maybe compensate you for some of your time. But if you don't have any interest, I don't want to.
For my own sake, no. I have no advice I can give you.
Okay.
Sorry. I have to keep my own interests in mind. I don't know if you all are going on some hellish retribution mission that will lead to your demise and wrap me up in it, much like she did.
That makes sense. Yeah, hopefully it's all subtle, but that's neither here nor there. So I mean, like, just aside from this, are you guys like bounty hunters? Private investigators?
Yes, before that, you mentioned something about trying to hide her presence. Hide from these Auric, these chaos folk.
Yeah. Turns out they like to be not talked about, and we talked about.
boy, did we talk.
Real simplified explanation.
Yeah, it's like a proverbial week.
It was really more like
it was really
three
not
over
me.
here, but mostly me.
Definitely can't.
I'll take the blame for that one.
I'm not there.
Else out there. I don't think Brent did anything.
Right.
Brent's too innocent to do anything.
Do anything what? Sorry, I missed the topic. The cat's going a little crazy.
Oh, divulging our secrets to strangers.
Oh, Brett's doing a lot better at that. So you guys are kind of the ones blowing this. I mean, handling this.
No, it's going fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She's not really into it though, Brett.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to kill her. She does too much. We're gonna have to kill her. I hope you're ready. Roll for initiative.
Kaya sort of looking at you all. So she came back here to get something to hide her from these chaos people to help you all stop them. That's the story.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
Roll me a persuasion check, Marius.
Yeah,
I'll give you advantage. I'm assuming Brett and Kellen, they're both asking questions. They're both helping.
20.
20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
It's forever unclean.
It's awesome. It's good. It's good. To sort of take it all in, maybe ask like a few other random questions here or there. Probably ask like, oh, this is Strixhaven, this is Arcavios, like probably asking those sort of questions if you would answer. She's not too terribly familiar with the place, so she doesn't have too much insight. Just filling out the story, the profile on you guys. You would get the sense that she's definitely some form of investigator, with her like sort of just like asking not like the right questions, but a question that can maybe answer even more questions. So it's trying to like tactfully go about this. But with a dirty 20 persuasion, she begins to sort of believe you guys. Well, if you're going to do that, I recommend you find some way to get off Arcavios as fast as you can. I take it none of you are planeswalkers, so to speak.
Yeah, not fully unlocked
no,
ones,
not
I guess.
yet.
So you have
Yeah,
a
I think
spark.
Boris does too.
Yeah,
I don't know how that
supposedly.
works in robots, but I mean,
Hmm.
constructs.
Interesting.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that.
Yes, that is one subject.
So, are you familiar with the columns that they use?
Anti-magic collars, fairly powerful.
I mean, can you use magic on the person, or does that also block that? Does it block external magic? Because I feel like message works. Or
Yes. I'm assuming if you've been using messaging to converse with her, that it'd be fairly straightforward, casting other spells at it. I would recommend targeting the collar if you can, but I suppose targeting her isn't the worst call.
Just,
But look, I can't sit and talk with you three much longer. This is already going to be enough if things go belly up for you. But what I will say is if you are successful, and she does manage to get her freedom, they will send many people after her. Her location will need to be hidden. She will need to be kept safe. And she would sort of reach into her jacket and pull out what looks like this fine amulet, and tosses it your way. If you do get a hold of her, I recommend giving her that amulet as fast as you can. It will keep her concealed, keep her position hidden from scrying, so to speak. You can add a necklace of non-detection to your inventory.
Nice.
Oh my god. And we don't have to buy her a necklace or something. Shit.
Kaya would sort of like look at you all after you take in the necklace. I'll keep her hidden. I recommend all of you stay hidden after something like this as well.
Yeah, you got it. We'll ditch the get up.
yeah, well, hey, hopefully, yeah, we'll be gone by tomorrow.
I think that is very wise.
Yeah, I'm sure this doesn't cover the cost of anything, but thank you so much for your time, and I'll give her 20 gold.
She'd like give a bit of a grin and sort of take the gold and sort of stash it in a pocket.
Just a little consultation fee for you. And we can just head out before we cause you problems. And I'll kind of like pop my hood up at the door. Nobody else is
Yeah.
and try and be somewhat like discreet leaving.
Right. Safe travels, and I hope you all don't end up in the same spot she's in. Good day. He like shuts the door, but kind of firmly behind you all.
Yes, sir. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Now leave me alone.
And
Are
then
you heading back to the ship, or you got your own window shopping?
if it's possible, I wanted to
I
get
wanted to
another
swing through
300
Plaza
golden
South.
diamonds.
Yeah, easy
Somebody
enough.
told me about 2 shops that I can get live things
Yeah,
from.
he's trying to get his. So now Well, now we can bring 2 people back. Progress.
I did also think of one other thing I kind of want to buy.
What you looking to buy?
Maybe some other. I'm not sure, like a ring or maybe a different cloak or something. But something for a AC +1.
Ooh, roll a d8. Six. Probably back at the same magic shop at the same Far Good Goods.
Far good.
Maybe you head back. You thought you saw maybe some bracers. Doing a little bit of talking back and forth. For see, let me look. These would be, I believe, bracers of defense.
I was tempted to try and push for like +2, but I was like, man, that's gonna be so expensive. But +1, even just that would be bring me up to a 12 base.
Roll me a d4.
2.
2. So you would find some bracers of defense where they would add a +2 bonus to your AC while not wearing armor. And these would run you about 4,000 gold pieces.
Do you value being alive?
I do, but
Do you want to
fuck,
invest in your
man.
health?
Jesus.
That's a big jump.
I know.
The plus are good. I mean, especially for casters.
Why did I make that +2 comment?
I mean, the roll determined it, unfortunately. I blame the
Oh,
roll.
really? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
+4? That'd be expensive. That'd be so weak.
Um.
I don't know if it works that way.
Shit.
Language.
4,000. Fuck.
Like, if you need a little money, I will give you a reasonable 30% interest rate. And I'll need to hold on to your wand as collateral.
No, when the wand I just bought? No, fuck you.
Okay, because you're just gonna be weak. Yeah, I just keep. But for real though, if you need a little gold, but it's not.
3,000 and a potion of fire breathing.
Give me a persuasion check.
I assume flat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
12. Can I?
He says 3,700 and the potion.
That's progress. You only live once.
I assume these are going to be attunement.
Money's not even
these ones, yes.
So I would have to lose something. I really don't want to take the print.
While you're thinking
What-
about that, what does it cost to like potentially upgrade like something that I have from a +1 to a +2?
What you looking to upgrade?
I have a breastplate, but I also have a scimitar, so like either one would be nice, I suppose.
That's fair. Okay. Roll me I guess let me pull up my tables. Roll me a d8.
Just so I don't lose it, it was 3,700. We're at right
3,700 and the and the potion.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're trying to get rid of for months.
With an 8, you manage to poke around. At first, you maybe think to go to some armorers or some weapon shops, and it's just not panning out. But then you get the thought of going to like an actual, just like an enchanter, just like a magic workshop.
Mhm.
Sort of going through, asking some questions, maybe showing off the items. You could upgrade both of those since they're currently enchanted for 2,500 gold for each. So like it could be 2,500 for the breastplate and 2,500 for your scimitar.
Let's see. I do not have that. What if I convince them to drop the price a little if I let them put like a big brand on it, and then I'll recommend it to anyone, because I'm a performer and people ask me where I get my gear all the time. And I'll tell them like what a great deal you cut me and like how awesome you are.
Give me a persuasion check.
What a cringy.
My boy.
Ego.
I love it.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. It maybe takes a little bit of haggling back and forth, but this sort of tabaxi shopkeep would sort of relent, sort of having this thought of like enchanting like their actual logo on the front, basically. They would take it down to 2,000 gold per.
Hell yeah. You're not gonna regret
basic-
this, buddy.
But like they're basically like, you have to get the breastplate. Like if we do this, because they can't do a whole lot with your scimitar for branding, but the breastplate they can work with that.
Oh, he's gonna get both.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Rapping hard.
Okay. The potion's on the counter. Gale takes off the little like black cloak cover to reveal the elven cloak that she's wearing. She's like, "What?" It turns around. She's like, "What if I throw this on?" You can inspect it if you want.
Lizard folk probably giving it a once over, and this is your
The cloak of that kind, because I'd have to lose an attunement anyways. So.
And what was your gold price? Potion, cloak, and
3,700 currently with just the potion.
Wait, what?
So currently it was like, he was like, I put the potion on the table and he was like, I'll bring it down to 3,700.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I throw the cloak in? Like how much would that lower it to?
I thought you also I thought I missed like a gold check you were also doing as well. Let me see. Give me another persuasion check.
Another freaking 12.
I'll do 3,600 for the potion and cloak. And Brett, with your scimitar and breastplate, they will take 24 hours to complete.
Oh,
So you
damn.
have-
I need
you'd
them
have to-
tonight.
You have to pick them up tomorrow afternoon.
Well, ideally,
Right.
we're not getting in a fight tonight, right? You guys?
What?
I mean, I just
can't
follow the
promise
leader,
anything.
so
The plan is
Correct.
not to fight anybody tonight, though, correct?
Right. So I'm gonna trust that.
it
I can't
always
help if
does.
something crazy happens. That
Guess
I
I'm throwing on
caused.
the old leather.
We've
leather
got our
armor.
we've got
I
our
haven't worn this in a while.
we've got our sweet outfits,
you'll be
our
able to
sweet
pick that
get-ups
up.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it over.
Reminds
Yeah, I don't
me of
want
the kid
to
with new
stuff.
shoes. But it's just like, I'm so much faster.
Or disguises.
Yeah, I do it.
Recto disguises.
That does mean we can't depart till the afternoon.
One platinum is 10 gold, right?
Correct, my good sir.
Yeah, okay, so 10 is 100.
Maybe you
I
can
don't
sweet
even
talk
have
Dalvin into giving us some more
3,700.
money.
I'm gonna chew you off.
Like, you really wouldn't have any of that money if it wasn't for us. Kinda owe me.
So many persuasion checks. I just don't think this is meant to be.
How much gold do you need?
So yeah, I was like doing math wrong in my head. I'm at 2983 gold and 14 platinum. So I have like a little over 3000 gold collectively. And I don't want to spend
I
all
don't know,
that
Gale,
and not
wait.
have anything left over.
When in Ravnica.
When in Ravnica.
No, I'm trying not to be that way.
The Gale way is to pine after something for months and then finally get it just in time to screw yourself out of a purchase of something even better.
Yeah,
That's
Some
the
charm.
Gale way.
that's the game way.
Because didn't you do the same thing? You got your coffee thing and then you couldn't afford the wand. Isn't
Oh
that
my
like
God.
exactly what happened?
Then I bought you the wand, and
Yes.
you've been trying to pawn everything.
Shut
that
up.
you try to
Get
I
out
like
of my
it.
head.
It's good.
Priorities.
Can I just try and pawn off this potion of fire breathing? She's like, I'm mad. Can I at least get rid of this?
Can they just sell you this?
I mean, this guy doesn't have an interest in it, but you could sell it somewhere for sure. Like, he just wanted it for like the transaction and like, oh, potion of fire breathing, that's cool. But you could definitely find somewhere else to sell it.
Yeah, she's gonna walk away from there mad that she doesn't have enough money and then find somewhere to
That was
pawn
more
off this
formal.
potion.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Roll just another persuasion check. See how much money you can get for this bad boy.
If I get another 12. Oh my god, why did it have to come now?
Nice, nat 20. Without role playing it too much, you find a good shop. Talk to the pretty nice, very personable shopkeep. They offer you 175 gold for it.
Fuck it. I want this potion gone. You said
Fair.
175.
Yes, sir. At 175. So we got you pawning some stuff off. Brett leaving his sword and armor to be enchanted. Any other purchases while you guys still got some daylight left?
Is there such thing as a multi-person sending stone? Like where all of us could talk to each other with the same set of sending stones?
You could probably find it maybe pricier than just a pair of sending stones, but it may exist out there if you wanted to look for it. You want to spend your shopping time.
Well, I don't want hogs, so Brett chose his thing, which was enchanting his armor. So who else in our group needs to look at stuff?
Can find a clever companion.
Kel's been trying to buy an animal forever.
He is diehard on this
Let's
animal
let
life.
him go buy an animal.
He wants to be an owner. Heading over there, Kellen. Roll me a D8, my good sir. As you heard a rumor of a couple different shops over here that may sell some stuff. A 3. Heading into the sort of Plaza South again, passing through Plaza Avenue and the 10th District Avenue and all the busy sections. Again, it's probably getting close to 4 o'clock ish or so at this point. You could see a fairly large, almost like cottage style looking storefront. It would have many shelves and many different like almost bookcases lined with these almost like thick iron cages throughout it. The name above it reads Impish Living. And sort of like beginning to approach and look inside, you could see that this is a shop that sort of sells and binds imps
This looks interesting.
for a price.
This fits.
Let's go check it out. You want to come with
You
me?
should go check it out. Let's go check it out. I want to go see it. Yeah.
Heading into the space, you could immediately begin to hear some chatter and noises beginning to sort of like hoot and holler out, kind of like a jail, honestly, as far as like the noise and commotion coming from all the little, what would almost look like cells in these like iron cages. On the opposite side of this back counter, the store space not too terribly small and not too terribly big, just big enough for kind of this lining of these little cages throughout and this fairly decent sized back shelf and back matching desk as well. The tiefling sitting behind the counter would sort of be reading this book, feet kicked up, hearing you all enter. He would watch you all as you sort of come around the edge, looking over. He would have this dark purple complexion, these horns that sort of bend forward and then straight up for a couple inches. He would have dark green eyes, a fairly airy looking attire, almost like sailor-esque. Sort of like weakly closing his tome and setting it on the countertop. Hey there. What can I get for you all
We are
today
in need
here
of
at
forever
Impish
companions,
Living?
sir.
Oh, you've come to the right place, my friend. Looking to do a binding with an imp? We got a lot of different ones in stock. If you're first time bindies, I could probably get you in at a good deal. You both look capable.
Yeah, we're not
it might
sold.
just
What can
be
you tell me
my
about
friend
imps? Why
here, Mosport.
do we want an imp?
I mean, they're like incredibly smart, kind of devious at times, sure, but they fly, handy, and go invisible. They see real good, heck of a sight. They're real tough when it comes to magic and such. They can kind of change their shape a little bit, nothing crazy, but like a rat, bird, spider, bug sort of thing, but enough to sort of shift it up so it's not always this tiny little fiend. Because again, keep in mind, these are small devilkin, sentient. They got personalities and all the
How
range.
does one go about taking care of them?
Raw meat. They love raw meat. Do good at commands. They can't really disobey master, though, sometimes they can be a little tricksy about stuff. Got to keep a good eye on them. A good firm hand is a good way to raise these
And
ones.
what are the price ranges and different features?
Oh.
First bindings, if it is, unless you're looking for a challenge, something mild mannered. I could get you guys in about 1,000 gold each. Get you guys a nice Warren imp, sort of a little bit more familiar with the process. I mean, unless again you're looking for a challenge, 200 gold, I can get you some real hellish little hellions.
How much of a challenge
mean.
would you say?
Oh, constant vigilance is needed. And again, these are tiny devil folk. Many of them originate from the Nine Hells themselves, procured, brought up here, material plane.
Like fiendish or anything to be able to talk to them?
Nah, they're all pretty good. I mean, all these cages, they got noise dampening and they're still this loud. So, I mean, they're pretty
Understand
talky.
common.
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
They also speak Infernal, if you guys happen to know any of that tongue.
No.
Can they teach you Infernal?
No.
Brett doesn't either.
Oh, no. These are not very, very helpful folk like that when it comes to that sort of stuff. They help you with tasks, maybe teach you some words. I wouldn't count on them to be grammatical. Yeah, scholars.
I like it.
Comprehension for you.
I like them. It sounds fun.
I think it fits.
I like it.
Well, let's
Is
get
the
you guys in
1,000
for a
gold
binding.
only if we both do it, or is that like if I choose to just do it, is it still just 1,000 gold?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I thought if both of y'all were doing bindings, we were going to do 1,000 each. No, I mean, if it's just you looking to do it, friend,
I like
seem nice
1,000.
enough, eager, I could do
Can we go back to
1,250.
that? I still have Brett's bardic inspiration that he gave
Give me a persuasion check.
You want
I
a
thought
third
we-
pet,
damn.
Chad?
How long does it last? I thought it was like 10 minutes or
It's only
something.
10
Yeah.
minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gone. I
Wanna
mean,
do
I
it with
could
me,
get
Marius?
another success. Well, one's a spirit, and Granite
Do
doesn't
it,
eat.
do it. I can give it raw meat.
These things do eat. They like raw meat. You did mention that. They're hungry boys and
I
girls.
can-
Do it.
Oh
do it.
God.
I'm a Marius. Come on.
It just feels weird to be a celestial getting like a. In, okay.
Is Brett not there? Maybe Brett wants one.
I imagine Brett was like looking at them through the cages, letting you guys chat. He has not expressed an interest in a pet.
They're like
Alright.
trying to reach through like the little doors of the pretty solid, like these firm like metal cages. They're like trying to like grab at you with their little clawed fingers.
Oh, that's
And he
sick.
already spent all his money, actually. He's only got like a few hundred gold at this point. He spent
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's true.
all of it at that other place.
Wait, does speak with animals work?
They're not animals, I don't think.
I didn't
They're
know. I
literally
thought I
like
tried.
infernals, right? Or demons,
Yeah,
How am I
they're
supposed to-
little
Infernal and
fiends.
common.
fiends.
And what languages do they speak again?
They speak common and infernal.
Yeah.
Oh, they do speak common. Okay.
750 for both of them?
Yeah.
fine.
Wink.
Third
God.
pet.
To be fair, Stabby's just like a spirit that shows up to fight.
Mhm.
Granted,
like
doesn't
Gail was
eat.
saying.
So
So the other one isn't sentient either.
Funny how you keep switching your definition.
well, the spirit's sentient.
Yeah.
Brett's just like,
Stabby's
whoa, you guys are both getting something here?
sentient. Yeah, he talked me into it.
What about
Yeah,
this one? It's like,
What are my options of the tamed one?
It's like halfway through chewing the bar.
What models?
I was gonna let you guys call it, and just sort of like thematically, he doesn't even have to take them out of the cages. He's just like, you guys pick them out. He grabs these cages and sort of like puts them in this hard like latching and like puts some gems and like runes and draws some sigils on it. Goes to each of you. All right, where did you want your binding rune placed? It has this like almost like a crystal with a very fine point at the end.
Get it on my hand. Get it on my left hand.
Kellen, go first.
Back of my hand. Yeah, back of the hand.
That's-
Yeah, you want that back or you want that palm? Oh, back of the hand? Sure. And he would sort of carve out this like circular sigil. It would be like fairly simple. It would have like a few like minor sigils inside the circle, but mainly just a circle with one central sigil. And as he sort of finishes it up, all right. Now let me see. I'm gonna need you to. And he turns your
Wow.
hand over and just like jabs you in the finger, so your finger starts bleeding. There you go. All right, I'm gonna need you to smear that
Right
on
here,
this
right here,
rune,
and,
this rune, and this rune here on the back of the cage. Right there. Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Kellen.
Saving throw. Ooh.
And what did these look like?
The
Well,
imps.
imps? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell them in just a minute because again, you guys can like kind of see them inside these dark. Again, they are cages, but it's really like a metal box with like a cage door on it.
Right.
So you're kind of like looking in these like vague boxes. You guys kind of like had to pick with like vague looking at them because the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to take him out yet. That's a bad idea." With a 9 Constitution saving throw, with that sort of jabbed finger, sort of leaking blood, sort of do these dashes of blood across these 3 different runes that he sort of sketched across the outside of this like solid metal box that this imp is in. soon as blood is touched on all three, that sigil on the back of your hand would begin to sear and burn. Smoke would begin to sizzle up. You could smell burning skin as you look, as you see this fiery sigil beginning to ignite. And after maybe a full minute of this, Marius, you watch in horror as Kellen's wincing from pain. You watch his skin almost bubble. Yeah, the little imp inside's kind of loudly banging, and after a full minute of this pain, the imp would sort of quiet down and stop being loud and high energy. Your hand would finally stop hurting, but there's still this lingering pain, like a fresh burn on top of your hand.
Yeah, that did that. That was horrible.
And the shopkeep just unlatches the holdings that he put the cage in to sort of keep it in place, and sort of lifts up the cage and hands it over to Kellen, and just looks over at you, Marius. All right, bud, get over here. Give me a hand.
Yeah.
Did you want it on your hand? I didn't even ask.
Maybe we could do it just kind of on my wrist here, so I could be a little hidden by the.
Sure,
sleeve.
Smart enough, bud. Smart enough.
Jeez.
This is the one you picked out. Sort of takes the cage, sort of puts it in that same harnessing and latches it down to the desk. Begins the same process. Does your wrist and then just jabs the shit out of your finger. Makes you do the 3 dashes. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Marius.
Oh god.
Oh, a 7. It begins to burn and sizzle with immense pain as you look down at your wrist where the sigil was sort of lit up. The shopkeep sort of looks at your wrist curiously and then looks at you, Marius, and maybe adjusts you to look at your face. Whoa, are you fucking angelic? Are you shitting me with this? God, here's your gold back. And he hands you back your 1,000 gold. Come on, what do you think this is? Rookie
I don't know.
Shit like this with your blood?
Pressured into
Dangerous.
it.
What if you were trying to bind something against you?
He just wanted to have a deal.
Kellen was
Gotta be
first.
crazy.
So I can't bind to it. Oh god.
Not here at my shop, bud. I don't got that kind of magic.
Hey. He actually feels really relieved.
You think I got time for an unholy ritual
right?
like that?
I already got it done to me.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you're good. 1,000 gold pieces for you, bud. You're fine.
I fist bump Kellen.
Too late to
That's
go
the
back
one that I
now.
want, by the way. That's the one that I want.
It's a little...
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as you sort of have it in the cage, and maybe you're about to open it, that sort of tiefling. Whoa! I would wait till you get somewhere sort of concealed, like a nice safe space. You could let him sort of roam around. I would not let him out in the street for the first time in your first commands. That's problematic. All right. Well, hey, best of luck to you guys. And hey, no more unholy bindings there, Mr. Angel Guy.
Yeah, hey, you learn something new every day. But, when in Ravnica, you get it. And walk.
That's about it. He's like, you're the kind of asshole who puts a holding bag inside a holding bag, aren't you?
Aren't you? It was one time.
We got any other shopping for you guys? Kellen, you have this, it's very heavy, this pet carrier that you basically have, this solid metal pet carrier.
Well, now I would like to go get bonded to a celestial.
How much are enchantments for something to raise
there is a couple bits.
your armor class?
Yeah, bracers of summoned meat.
You could find some bracers. Gale could also recommend a place. You would know from Brett if you have something that already is enchanted with a +1, that maybe upgrading it is a cheaper route than buying a whole new item. So you got some options at your disposal, and sort of leaving the impish living itself. You guys still got some daylight left as well. This goes for Gale as well, for any extra shopping she may have done throughout her time heading back to Wayport.
As much as I want to, I don't want to be that person that's just like, I want to find somewhere else to get bracers.
I think like every day you could definitely give it like a good shot. Like,
Yeah, I won't do more today.
because if all
could
goes
I
well, you guys have tomorrow as well to go shopping.
I mean, yeah, Brett really needs us to stay till the afternoon so he can get his shit back. No armor, no sword. He's out 4K. You guys are not leaving without that shit.
I do find it so funny that you just like always blow your money so quick.
Well, it's worth it. You can't miss it if you barely had it, right?
True that.
I guess, would there be a place to convert gold to platinum here?
Yeah, sure. There'd be a few places. There's a lot of like Orzhov banks around the Plaza Avenue you could head to.
Yeah, do they charge a fee?
They would. It depends on how much you want to do, though they do have a cap of 5 gold pieces for a full, transaction.
Oh no, I'm looking to like I want to dump like 1K into platinum.
Yeah, if you take off 5 gold pieces, you can do the conversion. And once you pay the 5 gold, you can do as much as you'd like. After that, it's just like a 5 gold cap.
Okay, so that's 3
As far as the
gold
fee.
there. Well, not 3. 5. 8 minus 5 is 3.
If you're doing 100, it'd be 100
3.
platinum.
100 platinum. Hell yeah. I'll switch that to a 2.
How much is a bag of
and then
I have
Gail also
so
wants
many
to like
pastries.
find some pastries, something sweet and scrumptious to bring back.
I have 25.
Something special
Right,
to
all
bring
her
back.
runner
I don't
bars.
know. Something unique.
For Marius, are you going to look for a new shop for a bag of holding?
Yeah.
Give me D8, my good sir.
Wait,
Yeah,
when
and
did you get
while we're
pastries?
doing that, can we check for the
Wasted it.
sending stones? I feel like those kind of
Wasted
are
it.
in the
Good
same
call.
sort of shop.
Yeah, we should
Very
send
good
that
call.
too.
I'm Betty Crow.
That would be my characters. A 4.
A 4. Beginning to peruse around a little bit, poking around to some of the shops. You do happen to find a fairly busy looking magic shop. Stepping in, you could see it would be lined with various items and goods. Gail, this is probably one of the ones you like looked through and was like, it's going to be expensive, until you kept going on to go find far good goods.
Mm-hmm.
Poking around in here, Marius, looking through some of their goods, you would find some bags of holding, a couple different sizes. As far as like price ranges, if you're looking for something slightly cheaper, they do have handy haversacks where it's almost like a collection of like pouches with like kind of one central pouch. And then there are the classic bags of holding, as well as some pouches of holdings and the other smaller bits. There would be a bag of holding here. But for a pretty standard bag of holding, kind of nondescript, almost like backpack aesthetic to it, it would look to run you 2,000 gold pieces.
Okay. There was some other stuff I wanted. Can I see if that's here too?
Yeah. Looking around. Brett, you would find some sending stones. Roll me a D20, Brett, as you're looking around at sending stones, seeing if they have like a group message package.
1-1.
Ooh. Let's go. It was a high-low, so that is high. It's on the low side, but still high. They would have just what you're looking for. And there would thankfully be a package with 6 stones in it. And they would be able to cast sending between each other. And this one, like the set of like 6, would set you back about 3,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'm just a bit short of that. Thanks for showing me. I'll think about it.
Let me go talk to my friends.
But if you guys want, you guys can split that.
Right.
I'd be willing to pitch in 1,000.
I mean, Brett's got like 300 gold to his name, so he can't help like a ton.
Yeah, no, you save your gold, Brett.
Leave it.
Who else wants to pitch in 1,000? Can 1,000? looking at him.
Sorry, what?
Looking at who?
Kellen.
Oh, I heard Luna. It's so weird.
Well, I mean, I feel like it'd be handy, but I also have my scribe book. But hand sending.
Yeah, but how many times can
So
you
I'm a
use
mother
that?
now.
I can always use my scribe book. I just write in the book. We can talk.
Brett, as you're sort of looking at the sending stones, there would be the basic ones, just little pairings. Those would only run you about 300 gold per.
Let me ponder the big one. Do they have spell scrolls here?
They'd have some spell scrolls. They'd have just about any cantrip, a couple level 1 spells. Nothing too diverse at this particular shop. You'd have to go look for a new spot.
Do they have a comprehend languages?
I think that's level 2, so.
Level 1.
Roll me a d20, my good sir. Want to roll high? 13. They do have a comprehend languages spell scroll. It'll run you only 75 gold pieces.
They have like a...
And do they have an ever smoking bottle?
Not at this shop. You would guess you could probably find that at like an alchemy supply store or like a potion shop.
Probably where I'd find an alchemy jug.
There could be an alchemy jug here. Roll me a d20.
2.
They do not. They do not. They do have like an alchemy jug that's kind of for water only. So it's kind of like a gallon-sized water that just always is
Never
filled
runs
up.
out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll take the comprehend languages scroll, and then I'll put 1,000 towards the stones if somebody wants.
Fair
Fine.
enough.
I'll
75 gold for our comprehend languages.
I'll be able to do that.
Sending stones for the party. 3,000 gold acquired. So you guys have 6 of them spread out among you all. You would have an extra one.
Marius is doing a 3,000 as well.
Yeah, 3
we all
of you
did
guys
1,000.
did 1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I hadn't taken that off yet, so because I wasn't sure.
Learn an infernal book.
Just took that off.
Sweet.
You could definitely find a shop for it. I won't even make you roll for like a tome like that. We'll just say for infernal, that'd be kind of common. I'd say 5 gold pieces. As the sun's beginning to burn on you guys, maybe only an hour or so left of good sunlight.
How much would it be either to enchant or, if that's not possible, find a bag of holding?
Chad was just looking at some. For just like a basic bag of holding, it's about 2,000 gold pieces. There are cheaper options with like a handy haversack, where you would basically only have to pay 1,500. Not quite as much space, but it's a little more like kind of like a central pouch with like some pockets on it for extra space. Whereas bag of holding is classic, just like backpack style.
Mother into a bag of holding. Kind of.
Bag of colding?
It's cold now.
You could definitely try. I mean, Brett could recommend the enchanting shop he went to.
I know a guy.
So I need to find in biscuit food.
Oh, it's easy. That's just like raw food from like raw meat. So it's super easy to pick up along the way. I'd say maybe 2 gold pieces. You could get like a bucket of just like a bunch of different raw meat if you wanted.
I mean, you could ask Gail to keep it in her bag, right? Doesn't she have a bag of holding?
I think he wants the holding.
No, I got a bag of holding as
right.
a present for my girlfriend.
Well, because I was just gonna say you don't need a bag of holding, right? Because in a bag of holding, things don't rot, is my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're sort of like sucked up into a void.
Sure.
So breathing could be an issue for certain things. A bag of holding just makes things cold.
So I
It's like
need it. So the
extra dimensional
wonder
refrigerator.
bars that I keep in my hidden
Right.
quiver, fine. Okay.
Yeah, those should be good in the quiver.
Yeah.
You kind of keep them at the bottom. They're good. And down in that extra dimensional space you got.
I'll take a handy haversack because that's actually what I was more looking for. I just feel like I was collecting a lot of just random shit. And it's like, I feel like there's no way he's carrying all of this.
Hell yeah. Do you want to go 1,500 or are you trying to haggle down?
I wanted to be like, since, we just bought the sending stones and I got the scroll, maybe 1,200.
Give me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage. You guys have made some purchases so far, some big ticket items.
Ooh.
Take pity on me. I don't know what I did.
Take off 100 gold. I'll do 1,400 for you. Since you guys, again, you've done some buying as a little collective.
I'll take it. Okay, that's perfect. Handy haversack.
Handy haversack.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I want is an alchemy check. I know it's not here.
Much for another +1.
Got the water one.
The longbow.
Check at the bag. What? We control.
What is it you're trying to enchant? Ooh. Taking Brett's recommendation, heading back. Looking at it, you could do 2,500. You can upgrade this one. Luckily, the stuff you guys have is good enchants. No shoddy enchants on your guys' stuff.
I would like to try to haggle. 18?
What's your angle? 1,800.
I'm a single father now. Mouse to feed.
I've got to protect.
We're not very precise.
They politely refuse. And they give you the bow back. They're like, oh, that's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
We just made a big ticket sale earlier, so yeah. Not in terrible need of work.
Yeah, we should have bundled. Wait, how much did they say? 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah, that's what it was there.
2,000. They would sort of contemplate.
God damn it!
The best we could offer you would be 2,300 gold pieces. We're very busy. You wouldn't be able to pick this up till.
Sorry, never mind.
Tomorrow, close to sunset.
Dip. Never mind. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Gail wants to get tiramisus and coffee for everyone. Some decaf, some not decaf, so then us going to the midnight showing are nice and caffeinated, and those who are actually going to go to bed at the ship can have coffee but not be caffeinated.
Fair.
I bought pixie dust, so I don't know if it's...
Different vibe. Okay.
You wanted to stay up.
How much should I take off for debt?
We'll say like a gold. We found a good little cafe, get a good deal. Maybe they're also a genasi of some kind, so they cut you a good deal.
Hey.
The rowdy sword. Let me see.
Okay,
What was my last session's note?
Dangerous. Don't do it. Danger, Will Robbins.
Oh, I may be swinging
for
back by
the
there.
unbroken in blade, it was 500 gold pieces.
Yeah.
You want to go
Dude.
back by? Easy enough. Easy enough. You go by animated antiquities. Seeing the, I believe, Vidalkin shopkeep still there behind the counter, doing a little bit of chit chatting. Maybe they would bring up that same. Again, it looks like a sword case, but it's kind of like latched up a little bit. Sort of presses it down on the countertop. You can hear the movement
got
from
it.
inside.
I came into some money
500
recently.
gold pieces, my friend, and then it's all yours. Excellent, excellent. Now, the first time you take it out of the case, you're going to want to focus on it. Its instincts are going to be to attack and swing at you, but you must try to grab it, and you must try to dominate it in hand. Once it slacks, you have asserted dominance, and then you can begin the training process. But I'm sure it'll be fine. And he like happily takes your gold and pushes the sword case over to you. I love it. I love it. Any other shopping bits as the sun's beginning to set? All of you beginning to converge back at Wayport on the Gilded Leaf.
Is there any animated cats? Animated into
There were not any, unfortunately. Yeah. There were some brooms, some swords. Looks like there were some other like household items like tea kettles. Looks like a few hats, a few jackets. There would be one or two cloaks. And you would actually see maybe like in the back, almost in its own case with like a bold label across it behind the counter, is a carpet of flying.
How much is the carpet of flying?
Oh, that guy. The last 3 or 4 people haven't been the biggest fans of it. I mean, it has a will of its own, like the Unbroken Blade, sure, but it is just a strong personality, can clash with people.
Okay.
This guy, I could get rid of it for about 2,500 gold pieces.
But you said it was difficult?
Not really, just a strong personality. In my experience, I think it's fine. I can't really keep it out. It likes to sort of roam about and be free. Not really one for concealment. That's why I had to get the special case enchanted. But once the cap is broken, enchantment is no good, so it'll sort of be in its free abilities. Don't really think you can break them in like the blades, but I mean, you never know. Crazy things have happened.
Well, I'll be honest with you. All I have is 1,400 gold. So you just want to kind of get rid of this problem rug? Take it off your hands. I mean, we did just take your problem sword, but, if not, I understand.
Yeah. I wish I could. I mean, I'm at least needing 2,000 gold pieces for this guy. I mean, minimum. I mean, the enchantment to get it stuck in this tube was 700 gold pieces alone to stop it. So, I mean,
oof.
Strong-willed. Got the other 2,000 gold pieces. He would happily take the gold. So go ahead and remove that from your inventory, boys. And you would sort of turn around to this. Again, it's like a big scroll tube.
Well, I did get more diamonds, so I can revive 2 people. So I was looking out.
It's like this giant spell scroll tube almost. It just like pulls it off the wall that was on the stand and sort of hands it over to you. Again, I guess kind of like the sword there. Recommend opening in an enclosed space, becoming familiar with it, and then maybe going from there. Again, just introducing yourself, letting you know your intentions, and all that good stuff.
That's fair. Okay. This sounds good, and I'm gonna hold it with 2 arms and talk to it. I'm gonna set you free, and we're gonna be best friends. And don't worry, I will keep you away from Kellen's demon sword.
Brett, you're just watching them walk around and spend like crazy money, and you're like, man, I can't wait for my armor and sword, dude. I'm gonna be so sick, dude.
Hell yeah, I don't need my shit to talk to me. I just
when can you pick those up?
Tomorrow. It said 24 hours. It was about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so around tomorrow afternoon.
Do we save anybody to reimburse Aility for some of the repairs? I think she covered some.
I still have money. I don't know about y'all.
No. I have 48 gold.
Jesus.
So
I have about 300, I think.
So I could put 8 on it.
1,205
and 5
if
silver.
you count my platinum.
Okay.
I still think that Captain Casper.
Because I think the repairs are like
we get back to
500.
the other ship. If not, I've got that covered too.
That's fair. Okay, cool.
I didn't even think about it till just now with the group sending stone. Does it require attunement or no?
No, those ones do not.
Sick.
Okay.
I assumed I'd be getting one of those. We have 6.
Yeah, I thought
and
Aility
only 4 of us here, so I don't know who else is getting one. I assume
Aility. Well, Phineas is around. So no, he doesn't get one.
So maybe one for
Vors?
Hold on. No.
I mean,
I'll
you can always give it to Captain. You can always give it to Captain Professor.
I still don't trust Vors. I'll be honest with you. This is me as a person outside of the game. I was thinking Captain Professor.
Yeah, when we hand her the
Casper wouldn't be a bad choice either.
The amulet.
Or Casper. Be useful to have
yeah,
a
or
pilot.
Casper.
Or Captain Professor, actually. I lied, because we can just use sending for Casper. We wouldn't have to say that much.
That's true, though.
Well, and then I don't know. I can talk to whoever writes my book. We can sort that out. We got choices. Anyway.
True, you could put Casper in your book.
You can put one rando. Who's in there right now? Oh, I have Koski. Kill it, Brett.
That's what you can use your book for, is to keep track of random NPCs like Koski and Vors.
I'm not putting Vors in there.
Well, not random. We were there for every birthday.
I don't trust him. He's a 1,000-year-old zealot. He's gonna be crazy.
1,000 years is a long time to change.
Or to like harden your beliefs. You're not exposed to anything else.
I don't know. I was talking with Fern, and she was saying that like dying isn't necessarily the worst thing. I don't know. She's being real poetic about it, so it's a little confusing.
You should just interact as little as possible.
Things are starting to get a little heavy. Should we start heading back to the ship? I mean, I'm sure Vors is starting to wonder where we are. Can't wait to show it. Wait to show him what we got. Can't wait to be like, look, Vors.
Let me carry that for you.
That's fair.
I love it. As we see the 3 of you make your way back down 10th Street towards Wayport, the sun beginning to set on you all as you finally step onto the disc that is Wayport. Sort of crossing the space, the sun beginning to sort of hit that full set, those oranges and purples begin to hit the skyline. Finding your way to the Gilded Leaf, it would be a bit of a merry sight as you begin to walk up and onto the top deck. You would see Datla and Kreischer hanging out nearby the steps. You would see Gale and Aelity off to the side, probably drinking their coffee. Fern, Ari, and what you would take in is the newly dressed up version of Vors that you guys are seeing for the first time, you three. And they're over there kind of like loosely playing. Vors is like kind of keeping up. He's like kind of okay, but he's like definitely like messing up, like every like fourth or fifth note and like trying to fix it and like kind of losing pace and then catching back up and playing okay for like 6 or 7 notes and then messing up. Let's just step up on the top deck.
Yeah.
There's our art of Vors.
Hey, it's so great.
Your description was so specific, it didn't occur to me that you would have a picture.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I figured I'd wait till
It's
after his
funny.
glow up.
I love
unlike
it.
the art, he just has like actual clothes on, so it's really just like his hands and his like neck and face that are like exposed
go,
metal.
Vors.
Everything else is clothes.
See, you trust that face?
Warforged
Look at
bard?
him.
No,
I trust him immediately.
it's not the face.
He's my
What's
best
behind
friend.
the mask?
And as you guys get to the ship, sun beginning to set. It's maybe loosely about 6 o'clock or so at this point. Gale having some coffees and pastries for you guys as well as you come up onto the top deck. But that's where we'll end our session for today.
Oh man, next time on Dragon Ball Z, will they
Lily, come on.
finally save
Lily,
Liliana? Find out next week.
Yeah, Aelity's here up on the top deck. Here, I could probably move you guys back over to here. Maybe you can see all the peoples.
A long time.
You know, I think it's the first time we actually got paid in blue money in a while. We got bits.
We're like, wow, this is so
Oh,
much
God.
money. We're out of money immediately.
We're so rich. Oh God, we're so poor.
I'm not gonna lie. I was worried we'd get like caught or something, and they'd be like, "We took your gold." I would have been like, "I should just spent it."
I'm sorry. We are poor. Not me. Not I. There's no I in we.
I summon Stabby and I Eldritch Blast Gale for. When I say we, I mean we.
I still have over 2,000
I mean,
gold collectively.
Y'all really
Okay,
cut
well,
into
as a
that,
group, we
though.
had like 20,000, and now I
really
think we're
cut
like
into
75.
that. Yeah, well.
What did?
I tried backing you
Yeah,
up.
I
yeah.
forgot she got a piece.
I tried to back
I
you
tried.
up.
Nobody backed me up. So.
Yeah, she did. I didn't understand why you guys gave her that money.
It's like,
She doesn't need it. She didn't deserve it. If anything, it should have gone to Voris. I don't understand that.
We would have never gotten this money without her bringing anything up about it.
Yeah, well, she never would have gotten to see shit if we weren't the ones bringing her there. I feel like maybe she should be more grateful. What do you need that money for anyway, Dylan? What are you up to?
As they
We were
originally
fighting
saved us.
You don't know.
You just read books and shit. Okay. Meet me in training, Dylan. I'll show you what a real hero does.
Does a handstand.
All day.
Yeah, can you do that? Son, I can do this for hours.
Oh my god.
I'm walking on my hands the rest of the day. Walks off.
Ah, good
Literally
game.
opening and
Good
closing doors with my
game.
feet.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
better than I thought. For a second, I was like, great. We're going to have to fight Elithid and his Warforged lackey.
That's funny. I thought if anything, we were gonna have to fight Kaya, and then she gave us something we've been looking for months.
Her.
Yeah, thank God we didn't have to buy that.
Well, when she was just like, yeah, I hunted her and I let her go. I was like, oh, great.
But if we hadn't have talked to her, then we would have. So
Well, we got the amulet.
Right, we got the amulet from her. That's what we're saying.
Mhm.
So that worked out because I was thinking we are going to have to either find something or like keep money aside for her tattoo.
Yeah, I thought maybe we would end up buying her ingredients today. I definitely didn't expect the major upgrades everyone got.
Oh, I'm
I know,
so
right?
glad.
I mean, I was expecting you guys to go do anything. With
I was
Zero.
not expecting to get Vors
All I
out
really
so
got was
soon.
the wand, but that's still pretty big.
That's pretty good.
As much as I wanted to like test out the detect magic, I was like, I don't want to waste any spell slots because I need a long
Vors
rest
is
to get anything
out.
back, and I've already
Yeah.
wasted 1 sorcery point.
Can't wait. Can't wait to figure out this rug. I'm never gonna walk again. I don't even care if you just like foot off the ground.
I think it'd be funny if the rug likes everyone else but you.
I had thought about having to deal with an unruly rug. I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, I'm really curious to see how trying to tame your sword and your rug goes.
The imp
The
came
sword
pre-tamed.
now, right? You have an imp.
Mhm.
You got a lot of taming to do.
It's funny. Skull to me. The whole time I was like, "There's no way I could get an imp. This doesn't feel right." I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Now,
That was
2
so
years
funny.
ago, you could have gotten an imp.
Yeah, probably.
We're not doing unholy rituals in my house.
Yeah, that guy was funny.
When he meditates, I'll just be like, "I'm so sorry, Saloon. I didn't know. Kellen just wanted to deal." And
But my friend was just trying to peer pressure me into slavery. I had a moment of weakness.
I didn't know.
I didn't realize when you said forever companions, you meant like enslavement. It's just like really weird after you like freed Boris. I guess you believe in karma, right? You're like, okay, I free this person, I keep them from slavery, so now I get a slave as long as it's a small one.
This is the most accurate play of like chaotic neutral of like. Well, no, it's not even chaotic. This is like true neutral. You're like, no, it has to be perfectly balanced. For everyone I save, I have to enslave.
Only if that was his reason would that make him true neutral. It
Biscuit
wasn't his
will have
reason,
the
so it's
best
chaotic
life
neutral
ever.
because he just so happens to be evening out. You just spoil your imp. It doesn't even do shit for you.
He just always tells you off and sits in the back.
He doesn't even say anything. He just gives you the finger, and you're just like, ah, that's my guy.
I love him.
Oh, Biscuit. You're hilarious.
Spits in your direction and walks away. Oh, he's so cute.
His name is
Are you
Imp
naming him
Cusses you
Biscuit?
out. Is his name Biscuit?
Imp
Oh, okay.
Biscuit.
Imp Biscuit.
Perfect.
Classy
It hasn't been
fella.
called like human cookie. Yeah, it's just like a really interesting naming scheme.
It's amazing.
Can I teach my rug to fight like the rug in Aladdin?
Maybe.
Put up your tassels.
Yeah.
Duke it out.
Pop, pop.
Be cool.
Yeah, you should pick an image for what your carpet looks like and the sword.
Yeah.
Bisquick. You can call him Bisquick.
I'm gonna call him Bisky. Bisky.
He just hisses all the time.
Just be nimble, just be quick.
I do find it funny that this place's wand was even more expensive.
It's all the shop you find.
Inflation's a bitch.
I mean, at least I was able to haggle it down by a good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be too mad about not getting those bracers.
Towards the end, all the rolls started coming online.
Mm-hmm.
And a rough start.
Yeah, what a strangely productive game.
Bye, Craig.